So, after meeting with a group of halflings on the road and sharing the night with them, you pressed onwards, and after a few more days of travel, you eventually arrived at the FrostGates, the border to the capital region, where just beyondwards is the short but potentially hazardous journey towards the capital city of Jarosh-Jukai, the frozen capital. You met with Sergeant Rennick, who was initially skeptical of you all, but was eventually convinced to come round to viewing you as an ally more than a potential hostile, and was impressed, even though he didn't show it, with the fact that you were able to collect 3 times the amount of tribute than was originally expected. So he said that there'll be a small administration process whilst everybody's checked out and everything is ensured that it is where it's supposed to be. And then started leading back to the gates when a horn blew from the gates. This confused Sergeant Rennick. And at that point, another horn blew from behind you. You turned around and you saw the company, the soldiery people of Edgar coming towards you. And that is where we last left it off. Right.
Okay.
Sergeant Rennick moves closer to the gate with the rest of you on his toes. He looks up and he says, "Report! What's going on?" A few moments pass with no answer. Silence. So eventually, somebody calls from somewhere that you can't see it because the gates are so gargantuanly high. They're about 60 to 70 feet high. They really are. And who knows how wide they are. You've only seen the outside of it. The towers on the either side of the gates themselves are probably about 3 times that amount. Now, there are 2 smaller towers about 50 feet high. Maybe 40 feet high in front of the actual gates itself, on into the field where you guys currently are. You guys can see some scouts up there. It looks a lot more like an early warning beacon system, and maybe a forward operating base in the event of combat outside the gates. However, a voice calls back down to a sergeant. And he says, "Force approaches! Unknown intentions! You must report to the outposts. Orders from up top. From Commander Frostbeard himself. Reinforce the towers." Right. Go on then. He turns to his partner, and they start walking backwards towards the towers on the front side of the gates. He walks past all of you. He says, "Well, good luck." And he continues walking onwards.
Really? You're just going to leave us out here? It's cold.
There is music, Arri.
Oh, that's good. Like, it just sounded really modern, you know?
So, they hurry off, and it leaves the party in front of the gates that are currently sealed and closed. There's still a lot of activity up ahead. You can see pockets, like almost shooting platforms in the actual walls themselves. So you get the feeling that the walls must be very, very big, as people are able to move around inside them. They're able to come out onto shooting platforms, and they're taking up positions. You can see just the tops of the hats now. Common history, you would all know this is general knowledge, but the men who guard the FrostGates are known as the Ice Caps, mainly because of the bluish uniform that they have, and the metal hats that they all wear, which collects the ice and basically just makes them look more one with their environment. They are hardy folk here, used to cold environments and conditions. If a little green around the edges in terms of combat ability, They can look after themselves. So, what would the party like to do?
Again, these walls, right?
I think we want to go investigate that little cave thing that was down at the bottom.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, it's either that or we just all just leg it right now and just get out of here.
I think the caves are only option right now, right?
Yeah.
Was in the waiting room already then?
Well, I'm assuming the waiting room is the cave, is what I assumed.
Does the cave look wide enough to be able to get the tribute through?
You don't see the cave from where you are.
Okay, are we inside?
Only Loic is aware of it.
Okay.
Can I see it? Do I know instinctively where it is?
You have a rough general idea. You know it's up in the mountains somewhere.
Then we're pretty visible, right?
You're pretty visible, yeah.
Right. Fuck. Can I kind of I'm gonna individually mage whisper the party and just kind of tell them the gist of I know there's a cave to get into the city.
Alright, well that'll take you 3 moments to do. If you're doing it individually to each party and not instead of actually just speaking out loud.
Yeah, I mean the tower's quite high. I think you can speak to us without the guards hearing, sort of thing. They've already buggered off.
They were back inside, the ones who were greeting us.
It's more bluish armor and cloaks, Harry.
Yeah. I'm gonna get the team in a huddle. Hey guys, when I got smuggled out of the city, I went through a cave system. I think I know the rough position, but it could be a good shot. The problem is if people see us doing this, it's gonna implicate us into something. So maybe we wait until things get nasty, or maybe we try to sneak away one by one.
Have we actually seen Edgar, or did we just see reddish armor of his troops?
You've just seen his banner.
I mean, we could wait here and see what's going to happen. If we can't go to the cave without implicating ourselves, and they won't let us in, and we're going to be seen if we run away, we're kind of short on options.
But we will die! There is nothing between us. There is no way of doing this. We've got to think of something.
Where is Captain Rennick?
Captain Rennick has gone to there are 2 towers in front of the actual gates themselves that operate as forward operating bases. There's a small soldier activity in there from what you see. His orders, from what you've just heard from somebody calling from atop the gate, it was to go reinforce them. So that's where Captain Rennick has gone. Sorry, Sergeant Rennick.
I try and approach. Will I get shot?
You want to approach one of the forward operating towers?
If possible.
Alright, so that'll be that's about 120 feet away from your current destination. From your current position, which is in front of the gate.
Let's start walking now.
Okay. So, as you start walking, now that you're not directly underneath the gates, now you get the feeling that people can actually see you now. And you hear a voice call out that says, "Halt! Who goes down below? Who are you?"
Yeah, I was just speaking to your Sergeant Rennick. I'm just looking to try and get the tribute inside.
Tribute? From who?
Brian.
I am sorry, but we cannot open the gates at this time. There's a bit of an emergency going on.
Don't you think it would be better to get it inside first? If it gets stolen.
Make a persuasion roll. You may ask more of him for guidance if you want.
Then I would potentially like guidance, yes please.
Hey, tell him if not.
Can we make a little snow wall in the corner and just hide behind it? I'm genuinely quite... I mean, there's enough snow. We could pile it all up and just stand behind it and...
There could very well be some drifts.
You could very well do that, but it'll take you time and you're not proficient.
Yeah, they wouldn't see us doing that at all.
Well, I mean, they're quite a long way away. We've only just seen them approach, so I don't think they can quite see us yet.
There's 2 moments of silence. Eventually, Korgrin, you hear another voice call out to you, different from the last, and says, "How much is in the tribute?"
I mean, it's the whole tribute.
It's extra tribute.
Not lost a single cart, so whatever you're expecting, we've got it.
It's the last ones.
This time there's silence for up to about a minute, aside from the sounds of people moving frantically.
Hustle and bustle. Yeah.
Eventually, the gates slowly open up.
I dive in the back of one of the wagons.
Only by about 7 or 8 feet, enough for 2 people to move in shoulder by shoulder. Do you all go in?
Yes.
Yes.
So you all start rushing in there. It takes you a few moments.
With the
wagons. The carts will go in last because they're the slowest. But once you get on the other side, you immediately freeze and you turn around to see a wall of spears pointed at you. Roughly about 50 or 60 ice-capped soldiers.
We're not here to cause trouble, guys. We're just bringing the tribute in.
It's with these guys, man. Fuck.
We have the paperwork.
Who are you allied with? Who's your commander?
We have no commander.
Just contracted to bring you your goods. Holy cow.
At that point, there is a noise from... Yeah, no worries, Luke. There's a noise from over the gate. It says, it's all right, they're allowed in. They've got the tribute from Brian. Let them in. Get them inside. Hurry.
I don't know who said that, but they're our best friend.
At this point, you get to realise that there is a great sense of non-communication happening here. Everyone's
It's the military.
Everybody's a bit too frantic at the moment, and nobody knows what's really going on. So word is happening as is, essentially. To which the men with the spears let up and just goes, all right, they start whispering amongst themselves until eventually a man with similar uniform to Sergeant Rennas steps forward, a blonde-haired man, very, very big beard, well boot, lots of furs around his shoulders, well built for the cold temperature here. He says, I am Sergeant Den. You'll come with me and I'll take you inside. Hurry.
Certainly, Sergeant. Thank you very
Sergeant
much.
Den.
Right. So, the men with the riders with the tree. Yeah, you can make an inside if you want, Verity. The men with the who driving the carts, they're going to stay with the carts themselves, purely for the. It's basically they're the stock takers, they're the infiltrators, they're the ones that can confirm with the guards that everything is there. Verity, with that insight, you can tell he's a little spooked. They're all very, very worried about what's going on because they don't know what's going on. This is a very hard experience to them. This sergeant just is you get the feeling he's just making use of his training and just trying to take control of the situation and not show any uncertainty about amongst the men, and as such, it's taking responsibility for you, mainly for the men's sake, and more instead of yours.
We still appreciate it.
So, you are led inside. You are taken into the sort of right tower, and inside, it's slightly less cold. Like, there are fires about, torches producing heat, but it is very, very cold in this area. So it's gone from like -5 to like 1 degree Celsius, essentially. And none of you picked up any winter coats, so you're all feeling it a lot.
Harry still has a lovely cloak from a.
Yeah, to be fair, the only person who's more really suited for this is Otti, because she has natural furs in her guard uniform.
Welcome to the tropical climes of the capital, Jerish Jakai.
You're led inside. Around, you go up several. Oh, okay, you can have a wolf pelt if you want. Better. You were led up several flights of spiral staircases, where you meet several soldiers on the way who are hurriedly taking messages back and forth from various commanders and stuff like that. And eventually, you're led inside the room, and the sergeant says, "You'll wait here, and someone will come for you soon. We'll place a guard outside the door. We're in a bit of a crisis at the moment, so I would advise you to stay put for now.
These corporate hacks.
And he closes the door. The room you're in at the moment is actually a reasonably nice waiting room. There's two sofas, big enough to seat about 8 people. Several chairs. There's a small coffee table. There is a small tea tray. The cups are currently empty, but there are some what looks to be like some stale biscuits left.
Delightful.
A few bits and pieces about. Rennas, you would distinctly notice that some of the stuff in here might have a small value to them.
I'll be good for now, but I do want to look around for a window. Is there any windows?
So, Verity, you use Prestidigitation to warm yourself up a bit. So you're still cold, but you're not freezing. So, you guys, what would you like to do from here?
Are there any windows in the room? Can we see outside at all?
No, this is a closed-off room. There's 2 torchlights in here, so...
That's no good.
No, there are no clothings in here.
Okay. I was hoping there might be a broken cloak or something. Like, oh no, it snapped off my armor, sort of thing.
There are two blankets that are held over the back of the sofas, just for more decor. But
big blanket snuggle in the middle of the room.
Yeah. Effectively, they could wrap two people. I've got the hiccups. I'll have to do.
So I want to press my ear up against the door and try and see what I can hear.
Make a perception check, please.
Because I'm still potentially worried that Edgar's just going to come storming through this. I don't know why I'm on advantage. I apologise.
Verity's quite clever about this. Georgia, can you make Verity just do an intelligence check for me, please, just to see if she would notice? Okay.
Intelligence.
Yes, please. Rennas, with that perception, you can hear there is some whispering between a couple of guards that are out front at the moment. Okay, no worries, Verity. Excuse me, sorry.
I'm gonna get a drink, Jack.
Oh, yeah, well, I had a drink and that's what started it all. So you can hear some small murmurings and talkings with a couple of guards posted out front of the door at the moment. You generally pick up the sounds of, "Do you know whose banner that was?" "Nah, man, not seen it before." "What are we doing? Are we under attack?" "No, I haven't heard nothing." "What about these guys in here? Tribute carriers or something?" "Well, I don't know. Why are we here?" "We're guarding them, I guess." And they just go back and forth for a few minutes.
Okay, so I just relay this to the rest of the guys.
I knew it.
Yeah, so they don't know who Edgar is, which is a little bit odd. I'd have thought Edgar would have been in and out a fair bit, but I suppose he's been away on a long-term mission. That's what we got told by Raphael, wasn't it? So potentially we haven't seen him for a while. Yeah, they're not actually sure who's approaching the gates right now. So, and they're not too worried about us, etc.
Why are they guarding us? Why do they say guarding?
I imagine that's just standard thing for entering the capital, to be fair. If a bunch of heavily armed guys just turn up at the capital gates, they want to do a couple of security checks before we just let them in.
Can I open the door and ask to be taken to a toilet?
You open the door. And,
you pull a scan on, I swear.
Hold on. Stay in there.
I really need a wee. Although,
make a persuasion roll.
She has IBS. You better let her go. It's fine. Just piss yourself. Verity can clean it up.
Digitation the piss away.
They look at each other, and one of them nods, and he leaves for about 30 seconds. He goes down the corridor, goes into a room. And when he comes back, he comes up to you, Arrabella, and he's carrying a bucket and he passes it to you.
As expected,
so I just look at it and I'm like, well, so I wasn't going to say this because it's a bit gross, but I really need to have a shit and I really don't want to do this around my friends. Can I don't mind doing it in front of you. Can I sit out there and I'll sit on the bucket and then you can take it away? You guys, I don't know you, but I'm not doing it in there.
Appealing to the guards' kinks, I like it.
The guards just close the door.
Halflings are hairy as fuck!
So now I just walk in the room with a bucket and I'm like, well, that was fucking useless. I throw the bucket.
some yellow liquid spills out onto the floor.
Oh. Okay, if I'd known there was liquid in there, I would have placed it.
Now the room is a little stinky. Everybody
It's cold
looks
and it
towards
smells
Verity.
like this. I'm just going to sit on the sofa. I'm just going to sit down and just... Boom. Well, should we wait?
There is one person who can get rid of this stench.
Smell.
She does nothing.
She's warming herself up.
And he's like,
How does the door open in this room? Does the door open into the room or does it open out to the corridor?
It opens out, so you'd have to open the door outwards.
Well, that's no use. So I can't hide behind the door then. Or can we pop
so
the bucket above the door?
you guys wait around for about 10 or so minutes. Eventually, Rennas, I assume you're continuing trying to listen outside.
I am indeed.
You can hear footsteps approaching, heavy, thunderous kinds of footsteps. And there's...
Can I tell how many people?
Just one pair from what you can tell at the moment.
Okay, I don't think Edgar would come on his own, so...
There is some talking, minor murmuring between what you can tell about 3 people outside the front door at the moment. And then you hear the sounds of 2 footsteps leaving. Eventually, you can see the doorknob beginning to turn.
I leap backwards so it doesn't look obvious that I was stood by the door.
The door opens, and in steps a man, a dwarf, actually.
Yes.
He has got a very long silverish beard. He's wearing a very, very expensive looking chainmail-ish uniform with blue drapes and a blue cloak. He has a blue hood up, but he's not got it up at the moment, so his hair's a little frizzy a little bit. His face is red and swollen. Looks like he's just it's constantly attacked by the cold wind, essentially. He's got brown eyes, very, very gruff demeanor, and a few scars across his face. He walks in, and he says, "My apologies for the confusion, and I apologize that, for waiting for so long." He's just looking towards all of you, and he says, "My name is Commander Axiom Frostbeard. I've been told that you fellas brought the tribute."
And more.
That is right.
Well, I want to thank you very much for bringing the tribute. However, and he tails off as his eyes are caught to use Korgrin, and he stares at you for a moment.
Eye
Kinman?
recognition?
Something like that. Your armor has dwarven sigils on it, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I wear my holy symbol around my neck quite openly as well.
Yeah. He looks at you for a moment. He says, "Clan Bravebeard."
Hey, how'd you know?
Well, I'm from Clan Frostbeard. We were family 5 generations ago. It's good to see I assume a friendly face around these parts.
Hey! And I clasp his hand. You know the
You clasp your hand as well. Good tidings. Good tidings. Didn't expect to see kinship around these area.
It's
Wait,
quite
what-
alright, you're not to know.
What brings you so far south, my friend?
Personal little journey, gathering some experience, looking around human towns. They're not what they're cracked up to be, really. Just helping guide this tribute through, a bit of coin on the way, helps you get by.
That's good paying work, I hope.
It's a roof over the head, I suppose, at the inns you need to go to. What brings you here? Why is a dwarf guarding a human capital?
Well, it's I'm guarding the gate to the capital, in all honesty, and it's very good pay.
Hey, to put a good word in for me.
Well, in all honesty, I just got sick and tired of fighting over dwarves, and I thought, well, I might as well take out a few humans if I could. But I cracked a few frost giants in my time, and then they stationed me here, and things are pretty boring, but I keep a tight shift there. But we can catch up on another time. We're in a bit of a crisis at the moment.
Anything you'd like to let us know about? Anything we can help with?
Well, I need to ask you a very simple question, and I was going to ask you a bunch of other questions, but upon seeing you, Bravebeard. Sorry, I didn't catch your first name.
Korgrin.
Korgrin. Axiom.
See him.
I need to know. Are you loyal to kin or king?
Insight check him.
Yep, go ahead. You get the sense that he is, you get the sense that he's asking you whether or not you are loyal to a human king or to dwarven kin. And what he'll say next is very dependent on your answer.
That's exactly what I didn't want. Fuck.
Be honest, Corgi. Truth will set you free.
That is not true.
You've obviously perked up since the dwarf's here, so we know.
Fuck.
This is a rough.
Korgrin,
Yeah.
you know that a dwarf values kin above all else, but a soldier values king above all else.
That's pretty much what I was thinking. This is a dwarf who's leading humans to a human capital. Part of him wants to hear kin. Answer he needs, though, is king. So I will go with king.
Are you sure?
Oh, I'm not sure. It's all
He's a dwarf first, but a soldier second. He's got to be.
Let me help you out. You've got a pretty high insight, to be honest.
Thank you.
His answers so far of why he's here is more indicative of self-gain than anything else.
Oh.
Should still, like, my logic still says that's king. He's getting paid. He's not doing this because he likes being with humans. He's doing it because he's getting money.
Does that make him loyal?
If he doesn't like being with humans, he likes being with.
Loyal.
I suppose. Ah.
For the money, not
Not for the king.
I know.
Say whoever has the coin first.
You can ask the other players for help.
Yes,
if you want.
please.
What would you all say if you were Korgrin at the moment?
Kin.
Kin.
I'll type it, saying it's practically the same flipping word.
Basically the thought police, man. You give them an inch, they're gonna take a mile.
Like, the worst part is I have a feeling it's going to be the three shady characters that say kin.
I broke down in tears after this last battle and, I've called all my family, so sod you all.
Ooh. I like that answer there. Very much like that.
And have we not earned your favour, Verity?
No, that's what I would answer.
This isn't helping. I will. I'll go. Fuck it.
Kin.
I don't
Okay.
think they know.
So Korgrin says
That's
kin,
them.
and Axiom Frostbeard looks at you, and he's got very, very piercing eyes as he's watching you. Kin, you say? That's a very, very brave answer of you, in front of a soldier of the crown.
He's not called Korgrin Cowardbeard.
Do you say that?
I was
I
gonna
didn't want to say
that.
that. His name's literally Bravebeard. Of course he's brave.
He looks at you for a few more moments. Good. Kin above all else, no matter what life ever leads you to, a dwarf must always value his kin over anything he follows.
A little sweat down my head. Hey,
Dwarves are loyal to each other.
hey, as you say, kin first. In fact, that's actually why I'm out here, is looking for kin. But again, we'll catch up some other time, I'm sure.
Well, if that is the case, I trust you. From that answer, and I sense no dishonesty in you, I trust you. Do you trust the folk that follow you?
Look over.
You shouldn't.
I've earned my trust, aye.
Well, if they've earned your trust, then I'll put my trust in him as well.
Please don't. I wanted to say no.
We're in a bit of a situation, but the reason I came down here to talk to you was about the tribute. I wanted us to find out what kind of people you were, and then invent some reasons to deny you.
Why are you looking to deny us?
Truth be told, all of the tributes from all of the contributing towns, I have denied over the last few months. On purpose. I've made up various reasons as to there were terrorists or there were threats within the things themselves, and had to deny them and levy out harsh justices on, unfortunately, the people who have driven them. And I'll take that guilt to my grave. I really will. But it was a necessary choice.
Why? Why was it necessary?
Have any of you ever been to the capital before?
I have not personally. I mean, I can't wait to see what's inside. We hear all the rumors, but
let me give you a quick rundown. It's a shithole. The people are freezing in the streets, and the king does nothing about it. I am appalled at how King Terrell treats his people, especially half-elves. They recently just let an entire butchery of the half-elves there, and no one in the capital lifted a finger to do anything about it. So I have decided to do something about it myself. I've taken a heavy gambit. My hope is to starve the people of food and riches long enough to start civil riots and dethrone the king himself.
Think that starving the people is going to dethrone the king who sits in his ivory tower? That seems like a horrible plan.
Hungry people are angry people. And the capital, being is situated in the middle of a frozen wasteland, relies on these tributes in order to survive. Now they've got enough food stores to last a number of years, but not for everybody outside of the Cloud District.
You think if food goes missing in the capital, they're gonna just ration it out to the poor people? I mean, you're gonna hurt these people. Is what you're doing.
Exactly. No, they. What I'm saying, my friend, is they won't do that. And that will create very angry people, civil riots.
Yourself
said stabilize it. I'm doing a gambit here.
You think this king cares about civil riots? You just said yourself he massacred a bunch of half elves. I mean, you're either an idiot or just straight wrong.
I wouldn't go about calling the man that's currently in charge of our safety an idiot. He's doing what he thinks is right.
I don't care if he thinks what's right is wrong.
No, that's fine. Speak your mind, son. Let me say what you want to say.
I mean, you got to think about it smartly, right? This king just put down a whole rebellion. He's not going to care about civil disobedience.
It wasn't a rebellion. It was a massacre.
He's not supposed to care.
The wrong god. That's all they did.
The fact that the king doesn't care is what's going to make the people rise up. Although hungry people are not usually very good fighters. Just going to point that out.
And it was those bloody knights that led the charge. Whether or not the order came from the king itself is irrelevant. The fact of the matter is they were operating under the king's banner.
There are some good knights, there are some bad knights.
You got a clock.
No, you can look outside the door, Arri, and you can see that there is nobody else standing there. Now, my friend, I apologize. This is obviously a sore subject for you. But I promise you, if I had been there, if I had had the opportunity to stop it, I would have. But I only found out after the fact it happened. You are within eyesight, Arri, so that's going to be very, very hard to do. He's standing in the doorway.
Oh, shit. Okay, worth a try.
Maybe think harder if your goal to dethrone the king is starving the citizens.
Well, my gambit is that the people will get angry enough that not only just the half-elves, but all of the people in the districts will rise up and burn the Cloud Top, burn him out of his palace, and then things can finally change. That is my goal. That is why I'm doing it.
What he's trying to say, Loic, is that he's happy to not go down as a hero, but he's happy to take his name blacklisted in the books of history if it means overthrowing the king.
I mean,
This isn't a noble gesture, but it sounds like it's a it comes from a place of good. He's doing this because he thinks it's the only thing that is going to spark this uprising, this movement. The people aren't going to do anything if they're slowly starved, if they just happen to live in squalid conditions.
You can do an insight check on him.
It's risky. I just don't think it's the right way. But I understand Korgrin in this situation. We got to pick our battles.
And then I asked you, my friend, what other way is there?
I mean, you gotta take down the knights from within, right? Those are the enforcing hand of the king.
But they are he seems honest, but beyond that, Otti, he's hard to read. He turns to you, Loic, and he says, "The king's knights are the greatest warriors in the land. They have access to the finest equipment. We are not going to defeat them through conventional warfare."
What if some of this tribute was to find its way into the poorer segments of the town and enable them to buy funds and arm themselves?
Well, that is the thing. You don't need arms and armor to storm the Cloudtop district.
It's very easy to say that when you're sat there in armor with weapons, but these are like poor beggars on the street with nothing.
Listen to me. In the Cloudtop district lives 2,000, maybe 3,000 people. In the lower districts lives about 300, 400,000 people. If those gates come down, or if they're starved out, there's no amount of magical or weaponry in the world will stop you from an angry mob of about 400,000 people tearing down your gates.
Well, there's not going to be that many if they've all starved to death.
I have another question.
That's the gambit I'm taking. I'm hoping that they'll rise up before they starve to death.
I mean, I'm game to start this revolution off. We can make it 2 for 2 for towns.
I have a question to answer your question, Axiom. That's, what would you have the villages do? Because so far we've spoken to Mayor of Brine, and they've been threatened with incredible, terrible violence if they don't deliver these tributes. The king will send his knights and raise the towns. No,
Yes,
you're playing a gamble and a gambit, but...
Well, that is the issue. I've been falsifying reports and sending them to the king, saying that the towns aren't sending the tributes. I tell my men, I have not told my men what I'm up to. I've told my men that the tributes can't be sent to the capital for security reasons, and then I've been telling the people in the capital that the towns haven't been sending the tributes at all.
Have any of the tributes from Brine made it here before this?
Actually, no. None of them have. Not in the last few months. I was wondering about that, but I wasn't going to push it because it was exactly what I wanted. Now, look at me, everyone. I know I'm doing a cruel and terrible thing to innocent people. But what's worse, letting them live forever under the thumb of a man who doesn't care about them, who's willing to butcher all of them just in case they pray to the wrong person? What kind of tyranny do you want? Do you want people to live under that?
Answer me this, Frostbeard. If the people rise up, will you fight with them?
Of course I would. And I'd lead as many of my men who would stay loyal to me as possible.
Insight
If
check.
that leaves me by myself, then I'd be myself. Go ahead.
I get -1 to insight checks. Why am I even bothering?
That's why you bother.
Both of you get the feeling that he's being honest, but he is quite hard to read in general. So
I ask him, so Axiom,
yes,
if you're looking to sow the seeds of dissent, I have to make a proposition.
of course.
And forgive me for what I'm about to say, but why not suggest that it's Edgar that's been stealing the tributes himself, sending his men? The
Well,
people
Edgar.
learned through these rumours that the knights were
Edgar.
taking
Don't
this
we
for
have the letter?
themselves. Yeah, but
Don't we have the letter that the other guy
We-
had?
Loic,
See,
there is indeed a letter.
Clayton, you can't keep rolling insights unless you ask me for the insights.
Okay.
So I'm just keep rolling over and over and over again until you get a high number. It doesn't work like that.
Are you aware of Garrick, who works for Edgar?
I'm aware of those names, yes.
I have evidence. I have a letter written from the bandit who was stopping the tributes getting from Brian. So it wouldn't even be a lie to say Edgar is responsible for these tributes going missing.
What are you saying?
I have this letter, and I'm going to... Like, before I give it... I should have done this. I could have torn the top off. Is it, like, separate pages, this letter? Don't really want to give him descriptions of us, but fine. I'm going to give him McTive's orders.
There are multiple letters. There's a letter to him, and then there was a letter that was letter from Garrett, and then the one that's being sent to Garrett. So there are two letters.
But they know we're the ones that are looking after the tribute anyway. So
Yeah, fair one. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I'm going to give him over the letters and say, look, this is between McTive, who was the guy responsible for stealing the tributes. He was a guy that we managed to... Did we kill McTive in the end? Yeah, we did. Yeah. We killed McTive, and we got the tributes back. And so this is proof that it was Garrick was responsible for that. Therefore, Edgar's responsible for that. Therefore, by telling the king that, you're not even lying.
This is where he looks at the descriptions, looks around at all of us, matches them all up, gets them, and then looks at Loic and is like, "You're not a fucking gnome."
Well, he's reading the letters at the moment, and you can see that his face becomes more gaunt as he reads on. He finishes the letter, folds them up. He hands them back to you, Rennas, and he says, "That is very troubling information. I honestly thought that Edgar was a moral and upright person, but he's been stealing the tributes from Brian. That would explain why they haven't been reaching the gates at all."
It would.
Hey.
What? Why would he do this?
If I told
That
you
we don't
the
know.
banners riding to you right now are
They
Edgar,
belong to Edgar. They belong to Edgar. I know that.
doesn't look
But
like a peaceful force.
I've sent the order to deny him entry.
That's a starting point, but we don't know. From what we've heard, what's the village like northeast, northwest of Brine?
Vord.
Oh, that's it, Vorod. What if we told you that he's been amassing troops outside of Vorod? That's probably where these tributes have been going, to feed his army.
Well, then I would tell you that those troops that have been amassed are currently outside my gates.
Aye. For what purpose? Who knows?
I do not know what his purpose is here, but I know that I was going to deny him entry. By King's order himself, the gate was supposed to stay closed to all but tributes. That includes any soldiers that are currently on the front lines without special permission. As far as I'm aware, Edgar does not have any special permission from the king, and as such, he's not allowed through these gates.
Do you know why the king wouldn't want anyone to come in?
There was a smuggling issue with a crime syndicate that got chased out of the capital a few months ago, but they haven't been fully eradicated, and the king wants them taken out completely. And as such, it's closed completely all traffic to prevent them from coming back into the capital, whilst the country guards and the regular knights they go about hunting down these the tappers or something like that.
Tappers.
Yeah, tappers. I've heard of these tappers.
Yeah, I've heard them. They're awful. But...
I don't know. I don't really follow it very much. And at that point, there's knocks on the door. He turns around and there's in the open doorway there's a younger-looking soldier there, and he's out of breath. Sir, message. Get your breath, soldier, and then I'll hear it. So a minute passes for the soldier to gets his breath back, and then he leans in and he says, "Sir, Edgar and his retinue approach the gate under a banner of negotiation. The negotiations are breaking down, and he's demanding to speak to you, or else he's going to attack the gate." To which Axiom goes, "By Moradin's spirit, no. What reason could he have to attack the FrostGates? We're allies. Why would he do this?" "I don't know, sir. It's just what he's threatened." "That's all right, soldier. On you go, on you go." And he rushes off. Okay, well, This has changed things.
Just a little bit, eh?
Axiom, if you're going to speak to Edgar, can I ask you one thing? Can you not mention us?
We're not here.
Edgar is responsible for stealing the tributes of Brian. Has he done anything else? Is he responsible for anything else? If you know, now is the time to tell me.
We believe he's torched Oakenheath.
He tried to destroy a life tree, therefore destroying the whole economic.
What's a life tree?
Something that keeps the forest alive near brine.
Is anyone a little older can translate that for me? I can speak.
Basically, there's some rumor that what happened with the life tree is that a long time
It's a
ago,
portal
when
to the Feywild!
the knights of old were running the show, they went into the forest north of Brine and saved some kind of tree or planted some kind of tree that kept the forest in perpetual autumn or something like that. But actually it was keeping it alive, and what the knights were trying to do was kill the life tree to kill the forest for whatever reason, we don't know. There's like a minute spiel of what it all is, basically.
He also killed, Garrick killed the mayor's wife and the mayor
Right.
of Brine.
Brian. And, large lady, you say he's been summoning demons.
No, I didn't say that out loud.
Okay, will you say that out loud?
No. No one else is bringing it up. I'm not. I mean, he's shipping pork
So he's torched
for
Oakenheath.
some reason.
He's attacked this Loic tree. He's been responsible for the deaths of leadership in Brine. And he's been stealing the tributes from Brine.
Actually, as well, is working in tandem, or not in tandem, but threatening the mayor of Brine to send the people from the poorer districts up to Vorod. For whatever reason, we don't really know. That was a thing.
What proof do you have?
Have we
This
still
is where
got
I
the
come
letter?
in.
The last time we showed the letter to someone, we started the whole town to revolt. But hey, why not?
I lost the letter to the barkeep, but
Oh,
I
crap.
do have a nipple.
I mean, you have two, to be fair, but
I have
is this
three,
really the
thank
time or
you
the
very
place? Okay.
So I can just say that he's working with some people who don't seem right, and this is the mark that's on their chest. And this is where he gives me a funky look, because I'm walking around with a rotted nipple. But, yeah.
And can I also say, send word to a Lord Half-Tree. He was there, he can give honest account to the situation with the forest.
I mean, forgive me if my geography is wrong, but Lord Half-Tree is many miles away from here. I need something I can use now.
Do you know anyone was sending?
Is my nipple not enough?
Korgrin, do you have your Zone of Truth spell?
We haven't got anybody like that in this case. We've got common soldiery and we've got a few ballistae.
What do I have on me then?
We have some low-level priests for healing, but that's it.
Would the fact that Edgar's willing to attack the gate not lend some credibility to our story?
No. It really
In the
would.
whole capital, they don't have anyone that can
So
send
showing the
stuff.
sigil of Argoneth has done
No, but they
nothing.
definitely have the people in to do that sort of stuff in the capital. But the capital is at least a day away.
Nothing? No?
You
Doesn't
trust the word of a priest.
look at it at all. Okay. It's fine.
Sorry,
I'll just put my nipple back away.
I didn't hear you, Arri. What did you say?
I just said that I got, because obviously I've got that the chest of one of those cultists with the sigil on it. So I show it to him and I say he's working with the people who bear this sigil.
So he doesn't know what that sigil is, but he has acknowledged it. So
Okay, I put it away.
there is something you guys do have.
Which is?
Korgrin wouldn't know this, neither would Loic, but all the way back to the very first few sessions, there's something you did keep.
La, 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 la.
Proud history of Oakenheath?
No, it wasn't a handout. It was something you got.
Oh,
Wasn't there like this scripture that had like all hail Argoneth that we got from the Knoll's cave?
Yeah, you got a letter from the Knoll chief that implemented Edgar as the truth giver and the follower as a follower of Argoneth.
Okay, who had that?
You
I
actually
haven't
have
got
that.
I assume it's in the bag of holding, so...
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely in the
either
bag of
Verity
holding.
or Arri picked it up.
I'm a bit worried the Scottish guy may have had it because we didn't do like a divvy out of his things because he went off to kill himself, didn't he?
That would explain why it's not in the character sheet. But yeah.
No, he didn't keep it, so...
Yeah, so we have got it. I'm just saying that's why it's not on our sheets.
So you hand that letter over, and thank you, Jack, for being a kind DM for reminding his players.
Thank you, Jack, for being a kind DM.
Thank you.
And he reads it through and he goes, "This is it. This is exactly what we need." Right. I've got an idea. And it's a crazy one, but it might just work.
Can we just go over the plan
We a
first?
crazy
'Cause,
bunch,
I'm
let's-
trying to do this whole thing when we
Yes.
don't think of things on the fly.
Edgar is, from everything you showed me today, it's very clear that Edgar is a traitor. Now, everything, he deserves justice. He really does. But I know the capital. I know that going through the proper channels, it will take too long, and there'll be a high chance that it won't even work due to corruption. Who knows what kinds of friends he has in the capital. However, he is a knight. And as such, he's bound by specific laws and honors. If you disrespect him in the field, in front of all his men, in front of all my men, as a knight, he will be honor-bound to declare a duel against you. But I reckon Edgar knows he could not win against 7 adventurers with, you got magical items and powers that I can't even know.
Oh.
I doubt he'd rise to the bait. But if you do this, and if Edgar insults you guys, it stains your honor. Korgrin, if you claim your status as a soldier of our people, young lady, you look like you've been trained by nobles. Do you come from a noble background?
Me?
Yes.
He's not talking to me.
Heyo.
No, you
I
carry
mean, I
yourself with
insulted
a
him
certain
once and he
dignity.
killed me, so...
You carry yourself with a certain dignity. I would say that you could declare your honor has been offended, and as your right as a noble, you could declare a duel on him. Korgrin, as your right as a soldier and as a proud member of our people, you could declare a duel on him. All of you could claim wherever you came from, claim that your honor has been offended by a knight who is meant to uphold the values of peace and justice, and declare a duel on him. And if he doesn't accept, in front of all his men, in front of all my men, he will show himself as cowardly, and he will lose a lot of power and face amongst the soldiery. So there are 2 outcomes from this. 1, he declines the duel, in which case he loses face and honor, and he'll be in a much worse position than you could think so. And 2, you can take him down once and for all, ending this thing here and now.
There does seem to be a third option that doesn't bode as well for us.
What's that?
Us not winning the duel.
What, 7 people with all kinds of powers against 1 knight? I mean, I know they're strong, but they can't be that strong.
One night
No, I
with
mean, this
the
guy
potential
seems
of
pretty
our
dodgy.
men behind him.
We've just shown you all this information about the corrupt actions he's been doing. Do you think he'd honestly fight fairer than honor and agreement?
If he fights unfairly, and I will be keeping a keen eye on him, and I've got a good eye, and so will my men. If he fights unfairly, he would be honor-bound to fight within the rules of what he has. If he violates those rules, his status as a knight is up for grabs. It's null and defunct. You can't hide that in front of thousands of men. If he fights dishonorably, he will lose his status as a knight. He will lose his status as a commander of his own army. He has to follow these rules. Our country, this country, is built on rules that he has to follow, or else he loses everything.
Okay.
I have a question. If
Yes,
we
of course.
do this, will you make sure the tributes get through for future references? Every future one, the tributes have to get through.
Of course, but I would require your help to figure out how we are going to save the people of the capital.
These letters should do the
We could do
trick.
that.
We can help with that, but you've got to make sure the tributes get through. There are hundreds of thousands of millions of people out there who are suffering because of this.
I will give you my word, on my honor as a dwarf and as a soldier. I will do this. I will allow the tributes to enter, and I will relieve the beleaguered people of the capital.
I want a handshake. I shake my hand.
He shakes your hand as well. It's a firm grip, but you get the sense that he is being as honest as he can be.
Okay, that's...
Like there is a hint of this is an option. This is that desperate option he's been looking for to get out of doing the terrible things he has been doing.
Okay, I'm going to pat him on the head as well.
Don't do that! Don't do that!
No, you never do that. Just
That's a great thing.
It's a gesture of goodwill. It's a gesture of goodwill.
He starts saying some rough things in Dwarvish that Korgrin. I start with Korgrin. Does anybody else speak Dwarvish?
No.
I think I did actually. 1 sec. No idea why I put it into my. I do speak Dwarvish.
Okay, so then Rennas and Korgrin realizes that he's basically just swearing at the moment.
I mean, they're clearly the first words I would have learnt in Dwarvish, so I definitely recognise them.
So he looks at you all and he says, "Don't worry. Come with me out there. He won't launch an attack. He won't waste. We've got the advantage. We've got the high grounds. We have a few surprises in the wall that I'm sure even he's not aware of. If he attacks the wall, it's folly, and a lot of people will die, and his army will be smashed like that. If we do this properly, we can take him down, and we'll be that one step closer to improving the land. Are you with me, fellas?"
Yes! And I say it just like that with my arm raised, but apparently I'm on my own, so, you know.
If any of you have any misgivings, now's the time. I need to know that you have my back out there, just as you need to know that I have yours.
Swear on Moradin.
I swear on Moradin, and I swear on our kin, on both the future and the deceased, on the ancestors' bears themselves. I false you not, Korgrin.
Hand on his shoulder. Trust you.
And I trust you. And I trust in your capabilities to take this man down.
I ask for 2 minutes. I get a piece of my parchment. I scribble.
Yeah.
I fold it. And on the top of it, I write the survivors. And I place it down. And I'm like, I'm ready to do this.
What did you write in there?
Guys,
I will tell you if we survive.
Okay.
I don't know if this is a great idea, right? Like, we don't like the king. We know the capital's corrupt. We don't like Edgar either. I mean, why not have the two big bad evil guys we don't like just duke it out and then have them infinitely weaken each other, right? Like,
we don't know if that is the case.
If
We don't
Edgar
know.
is taken down for this, then his troops will disperse or find new leadership. And if you take him down, then you people will have a right to claim ownership of his forces. And if they don't side with you, then they'll side with me as the leading commander officer on the field.
I mean, I really don't care for you as much as I do Edgar. You really haven't proven yourself as a city or a capital to be just for the people at all. I mean, you're even going to measures as much as starving the people of the capital, so that kind of tells you the situation you're in as well.
My friend, I put up my hands and my beard honest to Moradin. I swear that I did what I thought was right. I know I've done wrong things, and I know I probably could have handled this better.
I'm not.
But I made a decision.
I'm not saying what you. I disagree with what you did. Your heart's in the right place, but that just goes to show you how fucked the situation is in the capital, right?
And we can make that situation better by taking down one of his top men now.
I mean, I don't know. I'd rather see it all go down in flames. It's all just so corrupt, but I mean...
It wouldn't... Imagine if it played out like I said, where it's Edgar's troops come in and then just wipe out all the poor people, and then all you've got is Edgar's knights and the king just cozying on up in a reinforced capital behind the Frostgate.
I mean, are the knights of the city not going to fight to defend against Edgar?
Well, they have to get through the gate first, and I guarantee you, this gate has not fallen in 1,000 years, and it's not going to start on my watch.
There you go. The gate can take the hits. Why make freaking 6 wary travelers fight for you? I mean, you have your own militia.
Because what's worse, I'm risking my life and your lives to take down one life. Or should we have thousands of people die? There are, in his forces and in my forces, I don't doubt there are bad men, but there are probably good men as well. Definitely in my forces. Men with wives, women with husbands and children. They're people. They make soldiers, but they're people. I don't want to risk their lives as much as I have to.
I mean, men that could stand by and entire district ground.
I promise I'll be right there with you. And if he cheats or does something disrespectful, I will join in.
Do you know the extent of his power? Like, we don't know what we're facing.
He's a knight. He swings a sword. That's about it.
That seems intentionally vague.
I feel like that is not true. I feel like he is more than just that.
Well, you guys have fought Edgar before, and you did knock him off of his horse, so... And that pissed him off, and he used an item to teleport away and come back with horses. So...
I mean, yeah, if we've got some sort of chance of actually having single combat where we're definitely cheating by having 7 of us, I'm game.
As a knight, he'll be honor bound to fight all of you.
I'm very glad that I didn't become a knight.
It's how it works. A knight is supposed to be amazing warriors that take down dozens of enemies at a go. But I've seen some knights fight in my time, and I guarantee you they couldn't take 2 wet nurses on a Sunday. Edgar, whatever he is, he may be a powerful man with an army at his back, but on his own, he's just a man.
What choice do we have? I'm gonna step in and side by.
Loic, isn't your agreement that you're supposed to be helping us out in order for those Tapper people, thingies? Aren't you supposed to do whatever we say?
I mean,
I'm not to follow us.
I'm not necessarily your guys' slave, but I will do what you guys say. I'm not irrational enough to not help the group. I just think I think that they're presenting us a false dichotomy.
You get to blast shit with your Eldritch Blast shit. Come on.
I mean, I'll help you. I'm just saying. I just want to put it out there that there could be a third choice, and that these guys in the capital are slimy and manipulative, and I think that's what's happening here. That being said, you guys are my friends. By me, I'll be with you.
Out of game, Frostbeard, from what you've seen of him, agrees with you. He doesn't like that, and he wants to take that down. So regardless of his capabilities or his moral choices in order to address the situation, the fact of the matter is, he's one of the only few people with an actual force behind their back who's trying to deal with the situation. He's dealt with it badly in your eyes, but he is trying to do something.
Yeah, I'll help the party. They've helped me out before. I just think there could be another way. But that being said, if nobody else feels that way, I'll stow it and start to cast when the time is right.
All right, then. I can't delay any longer. Are you coming with me?
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yes.
Is there anything I can get for you? We've got a few healing potions on board. We've got a few weapons. None of them are magical, but if you need anything...
We'll take whatever healing potions you have.
Yeah, I could use
definitely.
I could use a healing potion.
You got a little fire water, perchance?
I don't have any fireworks. We've got torches. We haven't really got much in means of magical here.
Oh, no. I mean, fire water, like, you know...
Oh, yeah. And he reaches inside in his beard and pulls out a whiskey bottle. I got you covered. And he chucks it to you. Wouldn't be a dwarf if I didn't carry around at least 6 of those.
Offer it to Rennas.
Chug, chug.
Okay, so...
Don't drink it dry.
He leads away, and a few soldiers come up to him and ask him questions, and he gives orders, as the rest of you are following him. As you guys start going down the spiral staircase, some of these men come back, and then continuing to give orders. And eventually, one of them comes back, and he looks like he's carrying a large filter tray. Frostbit starts taking out some potions, and he starts passing them back between the party as you're walking along. You can put in the party 2 superior healing potions, 6 greater healing potions, and 15 common healing potions.
That's not.
Should we split the commons up between us all and just to take 2 each?
He said towards me, I hope this will be enough, but we can get more if you need it.
We'll do 2 each.
Do we keep it on hand? In case things go a bit up?
If things go bad, then the superiors and the greats are more
on the
use.
other side of the gate. That's somebody on the other side of the gate.
Okay. In the past, who has been the most likely to get other people up?
I mean, I am good at getting people up, but I also go down quite a lot. So
Rennas is actually very useful for
because the fast hands of feeding potions.
He can bonus action healing potion all of you, which actually makes him pretty useful.
I can bonus action mass healing word and heal everyone.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking in terms of giving like extra potions too. Like if someone goes
Oh,
down,
okay.
it's gonna be most likely to get them up.
Fast
I mean, so there's already 4 graters in the thing, and there's 6 graters here. I could take like 5 greater ones, and I could be the running around throwing them down people's gobs.
Play war mage. War nurse.
Yeah. I shall be game for that then. Okie doke. I will stick 5 greater.
But are we all taking
in
2 commons each?
I am.
Yeah.
Okay. Just I need to put it into my inventory.
Okay. So
I've already got a greater. I think I used that one actually.
you reach the bottom of the
What's your
towers.
speed round? Sorry.
You reach the top. You reach the bottom of the towers, and you're taken back outside. And once again, the cold air is met with you. You like, even though it was cold inside you, it's very cold out here. You can see that there are a few hundred soldiers on this side of the gate, and you can see there are a number of probably hundreds of soldiers on top of the wall, just sort of looking outwards a bit. He looks at all of them. He says, "Open the gate. We're going to begin negotiations now. You, and you. You're coming with me. Them lot. They're my bodyguards. Open the gate now." There's a lot of concern amongst the men, but they do as they're ordered. The gate is open again, slowly, and the horizon of where you came from is revealed to you again. And you can see Edgar's forces are probably about half a mile away, but they've like about 400, 500 feet maybe away from the gate itself. And they've stretched out onwards, so they're taking up most of the horizon, and they are holding positions. And just before the 2 gates themselves, the 2 towers, 2 forward operating bases, is a line of knights, probably about a dozen or so, and just ahead of them are 3 individuals. As you all meet out, march out of the gates towards the forward operating bases. Axiom gives you the signal to wait as he walks forward a little bit. As 3 people walk forwards, and then 2 of them lag behind as one of them walks even more forwards to meet with Axiom in the middle. You notice the person who's going up to him. He's got short, dirty blonde hair, carrying himself with a fine air of nobility, very good armor, and a red cape that sort of covers his shoulder down to half of his arm, down to his thigh. This is you once again see Edgar. The 2 people behind him that you can see, Arri, you immediately recognise as Sir Gareth de Blanc. And there is a woman beside him who looks similar in some ways. Like No, not similar, but looks familiar in some way to most of you. She is wearing. She's very thin and she looks very acrobatic if needed be. But she's lightly armored, but she's got two short swords that are sort of down at her waisting side, but she's resting her hands on them. Her hair is a dark auburn brown that's tied up in a bun, and there's a very small ponytail that leads out of it as well. The man on his right, Sir Garrett de Blanc, is a hulking man with massive black armor with a red cape. His long black hair that sways with the snow and the wind. Very scowlish, creepy-looking face, very gauntish as well. However, they carry themselves with an air of nobility, but nothing compared to Edgar, who is carrying himself with an air of might, essentially.
Nobility.
They walk forward to meet each other. And they're about 10 feet from each other. And no words are said. They're just staring at each other at the moment. Eventually, Axiom says, "The FrostGates are closed to any but all tributes. I don't see a tribute with you. Turn your men around and go back to where you came from." Edgar smiles and he says, "Who are you to deny me passage? Go but a mere soldier. Open the gates and let me through." "My orders come from the fucking king himself." "So mine, and I appreciate it if you watched your language when speaking in good company. What's
I just yell out from the back, there's no fucking good company there.
That echoes from there. He looks around it, and that's when you see an air of. He hadn't noticed you at this point, but now he has.
We're supposed to be pissing him off, so now that he's noticed me, I want to take my dagger out. I want to just prick the top of my finger and just let my blood just drip to the floor.
Oh.
Yes. Axiom Frostbeard, is that right? Commander of the FrostGates. I didn't know that you associated yourselves with criminals nowadays. Criminals? What in the world are you talking about?
He's talking to you, isn't he?
Those people behind you are wanted by the king for crimes against the crown. They have connections to the demon of old, Arganeth, and it is my charge to bring them to justice.
Does Arganeth have a symbol at all?
If he did, you people would know, wouldn't you?
It's on the nipple.
Axiom, I hereby request that you hand them over, their custody over to me. Well, that's something I can't do because they're not under arrest by me as far as what proof they have that they're criminals. Where's your writ from the king? Let me see your orders and your documentation. I don't carry that sort of stuff around with me. Those are for the help. Oh, well then, if you can't keep your own affairs in order, then I'm afraid I can't do it for you, can I? You are being rather disrespectful, Commander. And he starts pacing back and forth, just walking very slowly. You have absolutely no right to deny me and my soldiers entrance into this place, into the capital. Open the gates and hand those people over to me now. This is the final time I will ask nicely. And this is the final time I'll tell you nicely. They're not under arrest. The gates stay closed. Turn your men around and go back to wherever you came from.
So you finally broke that horse with your fat ass, Edgar?
What did you say? He calls out
Your
to you,
fat
Verity.
ass!
Some of the soldiers on both sides look startled and surprised. Quite the mouth she has on that one. Where's her mother? Get her here and give her a spank.
Joke's on you, my mother's dead! Ha!
You're just bitter that you fell off your horse last time we met.
I want you to make a straight-up charisma check, Verity, to see if you are getting under Edgar's skin.
That was really funny. Ah, no!
He's like, whoa.
With that, You failed your first attempt, or with a natural one, it's basically everybody gets 2 chances to get under Edgar's skin. And unfortunately,
Did I not get involved with my little blood dripping thing? I mean, that's like just cool as fuck.
That's setting on the path. Now,
Okay.
there are checks to be done afterwards. So, Verity, with a natural one, you'll have disadvantage on your next charisma check. As he looks at you and he says, he's not taking the bait on you, he says, children these days have absolute no respect. I have worked
And why
very
would I have
hard.
respect for a dickhead like you?
Make another charisma check at disadvantage.
This is the last chance I get, right?
Yeah.
Okay, hope you're ready to throw some shit. So I'm just gonna click it twice because it's not letting me move my thing. Where's my charisma?
Jack, you don't need to read what I've sent you now. I'm not finished yet. I ran out of the characters.
Oh, on Discord, yeah. I'll check that at some point. Okay, so he looks at you, Verity, and he goes, and you can tell that his lip curls a little bit. You've gotten to him, Verity.
Somebody hand me my silk gloves.
However, he continues talking, and he says, "The peasantry aside, Axiom, I have given you fair warning. There is no right for you to deny the king's orders."
What fair warning did you give Oakenheath?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The law pretty explicitly states that no one's allowed in or out without express writing. I mean, even the dullest of knights who could read would understand that. So the fact that you can't even comprehend a basic order would tell me a lot about yourself.
Make a charisma check, Loic.
The absolute dullard at its finest. Right up.
All right. His eyebrow twitches, and you can see he gets his posture momentarily dissipates a little bit. To which Axiom turns around and says, "Oh, did you hear that, Edgar? Looks like that person just insulted you in front of all your men, in front of all my men. That is very choice language. Are you going to let that stand?"
That man
Anyone but a fucking coward would call us out for that. I'm just saying.
Rennas, make a charisma check.
All I'm saying is he can't read or understand basic orders. Like, he's embarrassing himself, if anything.
No wonder he's been out of the capital for so long. King's probably ashamed to have him under his command.
Time, please.
Fuck's sake.
He doesn't pay much attention. He doesn't pay much attention to you, Rennas.
Well, that's how I like it. I like to hide.
Loic, you went after. Go ahead, make your last charisma check.
All right, here we go. Coming up.
Once again, his lip curls a little bit. You get this sensation that he's slightly flustered. Korgrin, what were you saying?
I was chiming on the back of Loic's dig, and I said, "It's no wonder he's been out of the capital for so long. The king's probably ashamed to have him under his command. He sent him off on some fool's errand in the fuck-nose end of wherever."
Make a charisma check.
Imagine having a knight that can't even read.
You've made your charisma checks, Loic.
Sorry. It was too tempting.
You can. This is a check, Korgrin, so you can ask Moradin for a guidance.
I will ask Moradin for guidance then. Hey.
Okay. He notices you, Korgrin, but he doesn't seem to pay much attention to your words.
Fair.
And he continues
I'm
to
not
speak,
charismatic.
and he says, "I do not need to justify my actions or my nobility to the common peasantry." To which Axiom says, "So you won't defend your honor? These people have insulted you in front of your men, in front of my men. What kind of knight are you if you're going to allow something like this to happen?"
Be even more of a shame if common peasantry knocked you off your fucking horse again.
Rennas, make your final charisma check.
Damn it, I'm charismatic as fuck!
He doesn't pay attention to you.
Fuck you!
He's a pathetic little man that doesn't carry out any actions by himself. He sends his little people to do them for him, and he hides behind his books.
Make a charisma check, Arri.
Where is my charisma?
He looks at you and he just goes. You can definitely tell he's on the brink now. He's summoning all the strength he has to hold back his anger. As I was saying, I do not need to justify myself to them. I have no need to defend my honor when they have no honor in order to challenge mine.
No, that's fine. There's no families and elderly or anyone like that who you can just beat to the ground. There's no one about who's weaker, who you think is weaker. We are tougher than you. We are stronger than you. And we will kick your fucking ass.
Go ahead and make a charisma check, Otti, with advantage with that language.
Okay. -1, yeah.
Despite the presence of your words, he doesn't pay much attention to you, probably because you're a half-orc.
Yeah, racist as fuck as well. Unfucking believable.
Make your final charisma check, not advantage. And with that, he just goes,
That's it. I am not going to stand here. Let's
Just shut up. Just shut up, and I'm going to flip him off.
Fine. All of you. I will not be forced to these business to challenge me in such a manner. Never, never.
I tried to call it a challenge.
Fine. You think yourself so powerful, so strong. I challenge you all to a duel. On behalf of my honor, I will strike you all down here and now, but I won't kill you. I want justice to have their way with you first.
You mean you want our blood, you fucking coward?
I want your blood to spill on the ground, indeed.
Could I actually see how woman and the man taking this
go ahead and make insight
spouts of insults, etc., how they reacting?
Go ahead and make insight checks.
Might I ask for some guidance?
Yeah, sure.
You think Edgar's about years apart?
A 10 and a 3, I don't know if it's showing up yet.
13. Okay. They are very hard to read, and you don't get much reaction from them. But they are watching the situation very clearly.
Okay.
Get your weapons. The jaw begins
Never
to
leave
chill.
home without them.
And with that, Edgar walks back to his men, starts talking to these two. Axiom turns back to you two and says, Arri, good luck everyone, and we'll be watching them.
Can you keep an eye on those two? Make sure they don't sneak around and do anything whilst we're preoccupied.
If they get involved, then he would have violated his own duel, and he would prove himself a coward who can't deal with his own problems. They won't get involved.
Well, I'm not
But rest assured, we'll have arrows trained on them.
Can I just confirm this is a duel to the death and that there's not a problem when we kill him?
You can kill him if you want. Apparently, he wants to kill you, so he doesn't want to kill you. So
Yeah, that's because he needs to spot other things.
and he whispers in very closely to you.
This is your opportunity. A duel to the death. Take him down, and we'll deal with one of our issues here and now. Men,
Die.
fall back. Give these people room. And these soldiers start retreating over here. And Frostbeard retreats to his men here. Edgar is finishing whispering something to the woman's ear, and they both retreat back to the men. Edgar unbuttons his cape and just lets it fall down to the ground.
Can I get Toby on the field, please? I'm sorry.
Yeah, of course. Let me
He's
find
already-
Toby from. Let me find Toby from another map.
And can I just say that, so for the purposes of the combat, his cloak is currently on the floor
Where he's standing at the moment.
I mean, I know we're done with insulting him, but I mean, that's just too good an opportunity to miss.
Where is it? Where was the last place I used?
I think it was Greenfold.
Probably Greenfold in the actual
Yeah.
village.
I brought him back after.
Yeah,
Is that how
but
Roll20 works? Do you have to go find the map?
I'll have to make a new one for him.
Like, even if you just want to use like a random token, because like we all know he's a raven.
Sure, I have a vulture token, believe it or not. Find it.
Ernie,
So,
gonna rub your noggin for luck.
So you guys have a couple of minutes. How do you want to prepare for this?
Do you want to fly?
This is going to be the in terms of gameplay. This is going to be the Act 1 finale boss.
can you take a giant strength potion and a growth potion at the same time?
Giant yeah. So you could. Yeah, you could drink them both, and you'd be under the effects of both because you have the D4 from the growth potion. You just get taller, so you become the size of a human, and then the giant strength would just make your strength become 19. So.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you.
I would allow them to
To
stack.
19.
I can see that being a lot of fun, having them stack.
If I was to make good berries and everyone just put them in their mouth rather than eating them, would that class as an unconscious bite?
I'd say that's a little bit too far. I mean, focusing on not swallowing something in your mouth in the middle of combat is that's going to be too much, I think.
Okay.
But they can have
Just thinking of
berries on their
cyanide
person.
pills, you know?
They can have them on their person. So,
Okay, I will cast
How
good
tall are
berries
these
then.
towers that I'm stood by at the moment?
they're about 40 feet high.
Verity, I will take you up on your offer.
Okay, so I'm gonna have Toby right next to Rennas, ready to cast fly the second combat starts.
Okay.
I've got 2 minutes before combat starts. Could you not cast it now?
It's 10 minutes long.
I mean, that's still like 60 odd rounds. If it's not over by then, we're fucked.
Yeah. I just want the most out of it.
Got Elder Blast. I'm ready to go.
So you create 10. You create 10 berries, Arri. How do you want to dispense them?
I'll give everyone one each. And I'll even give one to Toby, because why not?
Oh. One hit, he's dead though.
Toby has 1 hit point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once he's down, he's gone.
He's down.
So.
Oh, poor birdie. Okay, yeah, I just gave everyone one.
Okay.
Okay. So it goes without saying, but area of effect, things that affect anybody other than Edgar, will be considered cheating. So be mindful of what you do. This is a singular duel. He's challenged you all. So if you bring anybody else into it, you've violated the terms of the duel.
I tell the guards to get down from this platform then?
No, they are up there to prevent the army from charging on you.
But that's where I'm going to be going in 2 seconds.
Well, I tell them if they get blasted, it's not my fault. I may stand up there and ready for my position.
Okay. So, Edgar starts walking towards you. His plate armor glistening in the dark, in the sunlight. And now that he's walking towards you, you can notice that there's dark clouds appearing on the horizon, probably carrying
a heavier snowstorm. But it is blocking out light. It's still daylight for now, but not for much longer. And maybe in about 10 minutes' time, maybe an hour's time, the area will become dim light. He starts walking towards you, gets to there, and he reaches down to the side of his hill. He pulls out a sword. He reaches behind him, and it's this small little circular sort of bracelet sort of thing. He clicks it, and it goes, and it comes into a full-body shield, like the proper knight shield with like the emblem and like the circle on it. And he has that in his right hand, and he has his sword in his left hand. He's got his shield in his left hand and his sword in his right hand. The sword itself has got a blackened hilt with many, many gems encrusted into it. The blade itself seems to shimmer with a divine radiance. His armor itself also glistens with a sense of magical energy. He looks at all your
I think
windows.
that's fancy! And I cast Spirit Guardians, and now there are 2 other dwarves behind me.
Okay, so this is all before combat started, so I'll let you cast Spirit
And if you think that's cool, I'd take my bow out.
And if you think that's cool, I just put my hand.
Is it 30 feet or 15 feet, Korgrin?
I think it's 15-foot radius.
Okay, there we go.
Can you stop that?
Okay.
Right, anything else you guys want to do?
I would like to take both the potion of Hill Giant Strength and the Growth Potion.
Okay, so Bellatrix takes both potions. She immediately grows to become larger.
Oh shit!
So every single time you make an attack roll, you can add a D4 to it, or is it? Let me just double check that. So either attack or damage.
Growth, it's damage, so when you hit, it's an extra 1d4 damage.
So every time you get damage, you roll D4 and add that to damage.
Okay, and my strength's now gone up to 19?
I would. Yes, your strength has gone up to 19 temporarily.
Okay.
So the D4 damage that you get from the potion, I consider that to be modifier damage. Okay. So if you get a critical, that won't be doubled.
That's fine.
Okay, so Bellatrix grows. He looks at you. He looks back to his people, nods, looks back to you. Sam.
Like the second before initiative, I cast fly.
Okay. Well, you can cast fly on yourself now. It's fine.
No, I'm casting it on Rennas.
Oh, right. Well, you can cast it on him now if you want.
It's only 10 minutes. Like, I don't know.
Spirit Guardians, I've just blown Spirit Guardians, that's 10 minutes.
10 minutes is 100 rounds.
Okay, so I'll cast it on him now.
Don't care.
Okay, so Rennas, you can now fly.
Quick sorcery point exchange.
So he's looking at you, just, I see that, he leans in a little bit, and his voice is not as quiet now. Whereas before he was booming out his voice so that everyone could hear. Now he's just talking in a manner so that only the immediate people you guys can hear. I see that you've picked up a few tricks since opening this.
Just look at him do this and cast blindness on him.
Are you going to start the initiative doing that?
If everyone else is cool with it.
Yep.
You don't want him blind?
Any attempt to make a spell that will be directly aversing him will be starting the initiative.
I mean, I'm game for initiative.
Can I see if a soldier has a spare quiver of arrows before we go?
You have enough arrows, trust me.
Okay,
You've got
that's
like,
cool.
You've got like, what, 200 arrows or something like that?
30?
Why do we have 200 arrows?
I don't. I have, like,
And
literally...
there are arrows in the
31.
towers.
Okay.
There are arrows in the towers if you suddenly run out of arrows.
Okay, cool.
So, I mean, he continues speaking and he says, did you ever wonder what happened to your face?
I'll just shake my head.
Would you like me to tell you? I can tell you where they are and what happened to them.
spit on the ground, and I would like to say, ask your fucking corpse when I'm done with it.
Which is awesome because you can actually do that.
I'm fairly certain that's what Holger said as well.
Charge.
Okay. Roll initiative.
Line.
Oh boy!
Oh, okay.
Fuck's sake, man!
What the fuck?
Select your tokens, guys.
My token was definitely selected, but you just wiped it.
Oh yeah, because
I mean, I'll re-roll if you want, because that was shit.
yeah. Go ahead and re-roll because it's fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
mine was 19.
I was prepped and ready to do it, you see.
Pickle, baby!
Oh, I'm so big.
That's a little bit better.
Oh fuck.
Let's go, lads.
Now, before we start, I need to ask you guys: do you trust me as a DM?
Yes.
No one said it like that.
Same way I trusted you when you asked, "Are you sure?" earlier.
Well, we've not died yet.
No.
Has
I
anyone?
will be back in 1 second.
Is anyone not on the initiative tracker at the moment?
No.
Edgar.
Okay. So everyone-
I had advantage, but it's for some reason it's taken the lower one. I rolled
Oh, well-
advantage and it's
It did that.
What did you get? 16. Okay.
16.
No, I know because it takes the most recent number. You see,
Oh, mine is
okay.
also 19.
I did click the button, but oh well.
so it's 16 and then 19 for Bellatrix.
Yeah, it takes whatever the second roll is. It's a pain.
All right. Are you guys ready?
No.
As Korgrin starts charging forward, he brings his sword over his shield and he goes, "All right then, show me what you've got." Loic, you're up first.
As a bonus action, I'd like to cast Blight on Edgar. Or, sorry, not Blight, Hex. Hex, I apologize.
Okay.
I'm gonna Eldritch Blast. Do you want to do this?
All right. What strength? What attribute are you affecting for Hex?
I'll do Strength.
Strength. Okay. Okay. So I'm just gonna strength there. Okay. So the darkness seeps from your hands. It shoots out across the ground and starts happening up around him, and it just starts affecting his arms. He just goes. As you go in to shoot Eldritch Blast, he raises his shield and it bounces off his shield. That was a miss.
Okay, second one coming in.
We no longer trust you as a DM.
You fire your second Eldritch Blast, and he just raises his shield. Hits off again. He looks at you and just goes, "Is that all you have? Pathetic little cantrips."
That's it for me. Holy shit.
Bellatrix, you're up.
Ah! Okay, I'm gonna try something new. I'm gonna look at him and say, "Here's your hairdresser, I'd like to avoid them." And cast Vicious Mockery.
Okay, is that a wisdom saving throw?
It is indeed. Where's my PC?
That's a natural one from him.
Oh! First time! So that's 2d4. Oh, it's not much. Better than nothing. Just...
Okay, so what's the damage on that? 1d4, right?
It's 2d4, sorry, my dice
2d.
thingy's not popped up for some reason. I'm gonna refresh, 1 sec. There we go. 2d4.
So it's 6 points of psychic damage, yes, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'd like to move this much closer.
And he has disadvantage on his next attack, is that right?
Let me just get the spell back up.
Sorry, while Ned search for the fly I cast.
Okay, no worries.
Yes, disadvantage on the next
Yeah,
attack
that's-
roll.
Okay, so you say that, and he just goes,
So you've picked up tricks as well.
Yeah, me. There's a whole new me. Let's go.
The whole bag
so
of
that
tricks.
that was your action. You got any bonus actions you want to do?
I'm just gonna get closer, so I'm gonna step.
And do you want to rage?
I would like to rage now that I've pressed the spell.
So you start bounding forward. Start raging from the mouth.
Yes. Okay.
Next up is going to be him. It's Edgar's turn. So, as you're charging towards him, he's going to start casually walking towards you. So, like, shield up, but sword down at his side, scraping along the floor and the ground. Because he's walking, he's going to move at half speed. So it's 5, 10, 15.
As soon as he's 10 feet of me, I'm going to use my reaction to him.
Okay.
Hit my glaive. Which is 120. I'm not going to hit. Plus 7. Oh, I don't know why I did it too. It will just be 20.
15 plus 7.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It'll be 22.
22. You bring your sword down, your glaive down onto him, and he just raises his own sword, and it clashes in the midair. Boom! Shockwave that blows everybody's hair back.
He can't move any closer though.
He just throws it off of you.
He has to stay 10 feet away from me.
That was a miss.
Yeah. But I think he has to. Oh, because I missed. Yeah.
Yeah, you missed.
Wait, 22 misses?
22
Yeah.
misses.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
established 22 misses.
So he's up to you now.
Okie dokies. Time to die.
And he's going to show a small light appears from the hilt of his bow. And he just says, Astra. He unleashes all of his attacks against you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh my
7,
god, 36!
They all hit. Bye. See you
1,
later, guys.
2, 3, 4.
If they're strength attacks, is that including Loic's curse that he's still getting plus 19?
That's
it's
the
skill
hex
check.
only is 10.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I think
So this is non-lethal damage.
Oh, okay. Well, I think
He swings his sword, dealing a total of over 100 damage against Bellatrix.
Bye.
Bellatrix is immediately knocked unconscious, and she's I'd say she's flown about 30 feet backward. She's reduced in size, and once she hits the ground, she's immediately unconscious.
Wow. Those potions.
In the brief moment that happened, you didn't see Edgar anymore. All you saw was a barrage, a cloud of sword strikes. And the next thing you know, Bellatrix is flying past all of you, sword strikes all over her body, but none of them in vital areas, as she immediately hits the ground completely unconscious. And you turn to look at her, and you see Axiom is looking down at Bellatrix and looks back to the rest of you, and you see a "oh fuck" on his face.
Question: the Astra thing. Did I see that?
Yes.
Could I tell if it was a spell or not?
I'll tell you now, it's not a spell, it's a technique.
Okay. Just asking for the future. We're fucked!
Okay. Otti, it's your turn.
I'm gonna use Thunder Wave.
Okay.
Which is
So that is a Constitution or a Dexterity saving throw?
Constitution.
That's a 30 to save.
Well, piss.
Hey Jack, you know that thing when you said
Okay.
we trust you?
Okay. I'm going to move.
I'm hoping some of these
Yeah.
things are temporary and that they're boosts he's put on himself, but I don't know. I mean, a plus 18, it means like anything but a natural 1, he passes every save, I'm assuming.
So roll the damage, because you still do half damage against him.
His OPs are super squishy otherwise.
An 18 to Constitution.
You never know. He could be rolling 1s on every single time he has to up his health.
Hey, did he make disadvantage attacks? Oh, that was a technique. Never mind.
Yeah. Okay, so that is 4 points of damage against him. As the thunder wave goes out and it hits him, takes the damage. He pushes his sword down and he goes, "How quaint, child's name."
Does he also move back?
No, he succeeded. Alright, so is that your go over, Otti?
It doesn't say whether it's a failed or save, that's the problem. It just says unsecured items are complete. Got completely
No,
within the area.
on a failed save, he's blown backwards.
Alright, okay. I'm concerned about Bella, so I'm going to take a step back that way.
Okay. At the end of your turn, he's going to make a legendary action. He's going to swing his sword in front of him. So that's a 30 to hit Otti, Korgrin, and Arrabella. Can I get DC 13 strength saving throws from all of you, please?
We are fucked.
So Arri saves. Korgrin saves. And Otti saves. So you are blasted with air. And you pushed a few feet backwards, but you know if you weren't prepared for it, you would have been blown back a long way. As he just his single swing from his sword is enough to create just cracked air. So just go boom, 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 boom.
Where's my...
Okay, so that hit. So that will be 11 points of bludgeoning damage to each of you. This is not magical. It's not magical. So that is reduced.
8. 30.
Okay. That cost him 1 action. He's got 2 more. Rennas, it's your turn.
Okie doke, so I'm going to run to Bella, and I'm going to pour a... Well, yes, I will fly to Bella, and I will pour a superior healing potion. Is that what I've got? No, sorry, a greater healing potion down her throat. Which is how many? 3?
Greater healing is 4d4 plus 4.
4d4. Thank you very much. 4d4 plus 4. Wow, you know, there's all them lovely ones again.
So that's 11 hit points back to you. So, Bellatrix, you come to consciousness. Like, you don't even know what happened. It was almost as if you were attacked by a whirlwind of blades. Rennas is standing, or floating over you. Looking really concerned. So that's your bonus action, Rennas. What's your action?
It doesn't actually make a lot of difference, because I'm then going to run over here and hide. So I can do either one of them as an action or a bonus action. So
yeah, that's right. So go ahead and make a stealth check.
Which I'm imagining he's probably got, like, vision of 10 billion.
17 stealth. His eyes continue to watch you, Rennas, as you fly over towards him.
I stick my finger where I've had him, seeing as he can see me, and I end my turn.
Okay. Korgrin, it's your turn.
I clang my shield, and I shout to him, "At least I know my ancestors are watching over me, Edgar. Can you say the same?" I step forward towards him.
I want you to make I want you to make an intimidation check at advantage for reasons that I know.
Okay. Intimidation.
Good
for once.
As you say those words out to him and you charge to him, you can get the feeling that his face just, whereas it has this utmost sense of confidence, it immediately goes, wow, like those words affected him in some way.
Then sorry?
So you charge forward with Spirit
Yep.
Guardians. Okay, so he needs to make a dexterity saving throw?
Wisdom.
Wisdom saving throw.
Just double check. Wisdom.
That's 34 to save.
Still takes half damage.
Yeah.
13 damage, I don't know if it's come up.
13 damage, so half that to 6. So the Spirit Guardians go. Yeah, okay.
And I would like to make a weapon attack. Swing at his face. Hadouken!
Do you want to add your plus 10 to that?
No.
No?
Will, however, bonus action using War Priest feature to make another weapon attack.
Okay. Do you want to add your plus 10 to that?
I do not.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, those both miss. He uses his sword to deflect both weapons away. And it's at this point that you realise that this is not just some regular guy.
Okay.
Arrabella, it's your turn.
I get out.
Stand up.
Oh, that's awful.
You fire a shot, and he just raises his shield, and just bounces off of that.
And I'll try again. The fact that it's not making my bow go all funny, I assume he's not a fiend, which I kind of suspected, but hey ho.
22 is a miss.
That's fine.
You fire another one. This one is more in tune. He uses his sword to deflect it.
Oh my god, my cat is... Sorry, I didn't mean to move there. My cat nudged my hand as I was trying to move myself.
My friend.
He's actually going to use his reaction on that one to destroy the ammunition. So the arrow is sliced into a few pieces in the air.
Okay.
Alright. Is that your turn, Arrabella?
It is.
Alright, so at the end of your turn, he's going to use another legendary action. This is going to cost 2 actions. Can, I believe, everyone is within 40 feet of him, I think. Yep. Can you all make wisdom saving throws, please?
Oh.
No.
So, Korgrin saves.
God, cat, what are you doing?
Oh, this is going to be work.
Rennas fails.
Why is it stuck?
No.
Bella fails. So
I
Rennas,
haven't rolled
Otti,
above 5 all day.
Rennas, Otti, and Bella, you are all now afraid fighting with Edgar.
Yeah.
As his literal presence just overwhelms you, and just in a few seconds that the combat started, he's on a much higher level than you can imagine. Right, Verity, it's your turn.
Okay. So first I'm gonna be like, who even are you? Where the hell did you even come from, Edgar? Like 1 minute, we're all just fine, and then you pop up, it's like, who even made you? Like, whatever. Ugh. And then I'm gonna cast...
He laughs at you as you say that.
I'm gonna use 2 sorcery points to cast Catapult as a bonus action. And then with my action, I'm going to cast Dispel Magic on him.
Okay.
In hopes that it does anything.
So you cast a spell magic on him and nothing happens. He's not using any magic.
No magic, not even the fancy armor doing all that exploding stuff at the beginning.
Oh yeah, well the magic. To be fair, his armor classes and his shield and his cloak are magical. Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Oh.
I'm going to have them make a Wisdom saving throw. Just a moment.
If not, that would have been like another 3rd level spell I've just used.
Well, I rolled a 13, a
Just the treaties in
17,
your
and a 20.
Huh?
I rolled a 13, a 17, and a 20. So as you cast the spell magic, his cloak, which is sort of resonates with a certain presence, is lessened a bit. So an effect has happened, you're just not aware of what it is. As for the catapult, well, that was 8 points of damage. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna run behind this thing over here.
I know.
Just be like,
Oh no. He took off his side cape sort of thing, but not his actual cloak. It's a cloak of improved protection. You wouldn't take that off.
Probably like a +2 to AC or some shit like that.
Well, then that dispelling it might have
I
helped.
was trying to help, guys.
Well, to be fair, it was a cloak of improved protection. Now it's just a cloak of protection.
This is just a +1 then. Only a +1.
Better than nothing, I'll take it.
So his AC has actually gone down by 1.
From what, like 27?
You don't know. All you know is
Doing
22 times you hit so far.
probably in like 18 armor plate. He's probably got at least a +1 magical shield, so that's +3, 21. Magical armor, probably another +1, and evidently the cloak. So I'm thinking like 25-ish.
22 is the highest we've had to hit him so far, and it's missed. So he's at least 23.
Mm-hmm.
So now he could be 22. You never know.
So he's not resistant to he's not resistant to bludgeoning damage. So that is 8 points of damage, and he needs to make a dexterity saving throw. Is that right?
Is it dex saving throw? Yeah.
He's not amazing at those.
Yes, you would have, by the way, Dal. That's
18
what
to
happened.
save.
Yeah, it would have been like my spell,
Okay.
which is like what?
So the ball bearings fly from your pocket, boom, and he raises up his shield. Some of them get through, scuffle his hair. One of them gets him on the cheek. He just puts his
Spell
head to
save
the side.
14. This is such bull.
And Korgrin, you can see that where the ball bearing actually hit him, there is now a small cut on its cheek where there's a little bit of blood dripping down now. He just goes, stings like a bee. Okay. Top of the round.
What's that? I have to roll 2
Oh,
d20.
as he's kind of distracted fighting others, I'm gonna cast my Elder's Blast at him.
You might want to wait.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
Ah,
Nice.
Oh, you got the shit. I didn't realise you got the magical roll.
Yeah.
The magic search. Let's have a look, please.
Oh my god! No!
Let me get. Sorry, bear with me just a moment. Let me get my thing up. Where is the fuck is it? Where is Word?
I have the spell if you want me to message it to you.
Yes, please. I'm trying to find. I just downloaded all of my things.
It's okay, I'll message it to you on this.
OneDrive. That's where I saved it.
Is it good?
Well,
Is it bad? Are we gonna die?
Where is it? 69.
Are you a plant? Am I a plant? What's happening?
Oh,
We are
shit.
all suddenly plants.
Oh, shit. So that is that's going to affect Arrabella and Rennas, and yourself.
Yeah.
So, Arrabella and Rennas and Verity all turn invisible.
Nice.
Oh,
Hey!
Am I now officially stealth?
So yeah, you are. He's lost sight of you, which means you are officially stealth, I guess. He hasn't got true sight or anything.
do you get advantage on attacks for being invisible?
Yeah, he would. Yeah, so you get your sneak attack.
Yeah, because I'm a rogue, so I get my sneak attack.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, that Eldritch Blast misses, by the way, Clayton. So you fire, boom, he raises up his shield again, boom. And the second one, he just moves his shield again and just deflects it away, boom.
that's it for me.
Alright, Bellatrix, it's your turn.
Well, that looks fun. I want to be invisible too. I'm going to use my loot to cast invisibility on myself.
Okay, so you start playing your lute and you go invisible.
Is she invisible to everyone? Do we know where she is?
No, you won't know where I am. I'm invisible.
The proper like Harry Potter cloak.
Damn it, you ruined my plan, Bella.
Soz. I could come over to you and poke you and be like, what?
But no, because I'm invisible too.
Your rage ended, by the way, but
Yeah,
the enlarged spell was taken away, but you still have 19 strength.
I'm imagining you're singing something like, when I'm gone. When I'm gone. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone.
Okay, shit, that was an action, right?
Yes, it was.
Oh, I should have thought about that. I just kind of did it because you guys went invisible. That was fun. Yes! I don't want him to hit me. Then I'm gonna... I am gonna move over this way, just about here.
Okay.
Get all the invisible folks together.
No. It's his turn. The first thing I'm going to do, roll d6.
Or should get a fucking 6.
Fucking serious!
Oh, make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Yep. Where is his sheet?
Oh, that's a 9.
17 to save. Roll a 2.
Still beats my DC, but takes half damage at least.
So that's 7 points of force damage there.
Force? I want to say...
Or is it radiant damage? My apologies.
We'll double check. I thought it was psychic, but we will find out.
No, it was whatever it was. It was because I got the spiritual weapon damage wrong, didn't I?
Yeah, it is radiant. It's radiant and necrotic if I'm evil.
So they once again, he's holding his ground. He is.
Okay.
He's going to focus on you, Korgrin, and he's not going to use Astro Technique.
You're lucky.
He's got things even better.
What?
And I will show this what his sword does.
Please don't. I'm scared. Oh fuck.
And I'll hide the rest of the attacks. Well, I'll hide it for the other attacks. Natural 1 on one of them, so he...
Let me just double check. I don't think some of those meet my AC.
Like that 37's gonna be a miss.
Yeah, all of them. All of them.
21 to hit.
All of them hit.
Well, no, the natural 1 fails, but only because it's a crit 1.
Yeah, true.
We're gonna die. Oh no, we're not. We're gonna go unconscious.
Right, so that is this is a hit. Alright, so that is going to be 72 magical slashing plus 19 radiance against you, Korgrin.
What's that, sorry?
So it's 28 plus 26 plus 20. So 68. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 74 points of magical slashing damage against you. Plus 19 points of radiance damage against you. This is non-lethal.
I was going to say, because if it was, I would have died.
Yeah. No, he's not. He's not aiming to kill you.
Yeah,
right?
so I'm unconscious.
You all know why he wants you alive.
Yeah, boy.
But the rest of them don't know it. The rest of the soldiers here, they don't know it. So Korgrin immediately falls down to the ground, and his spiritual guardians end.
Fudge.
And with that, he just goes, and he starts walking very. Starts walking over to Otti. And he's going to let us go there. The lenders go there. So yeah, so you just see this cloud of strikes, and Korgrin being twisted in the air, and he immediately hits the ground, bleeding but breathing. He's definitely unconscious from that. So,
Rennas to the rescue.
Otti, it's your turn.
So I'm gonna stare him down straight in the eyes, and I'm gonna say to him, "You are that much of a coward that you came into our hometown and attacked us for no reason whatsoever. You probably killed our families for no reason whatsoever. This is nothing to do with us. You are such a sad and pathetic guy. Absolutely unbelievable. And I'm going to hit him with Wilma.
As you go back to him, he says to you, "Your father cried before the end." To be fair, I'll let you have that attack at advantage from what he just said to you, as you would have been startled by it.
Please do better. That's not better.
23 is a miss.
Okay, I'm going to do my second attack with Wilma.
Advantage again. Both misses, unfortunately. You just swing one, and he just brings up his shield.
Okay, I'm going to action surge, and I'm going to hit him twice more.
Okay.
And 2.
Come on.
God damn it!
They would have been such
You're
amazing throws
swinging away
otherwise.
at him, and he's just going. Is that the end of your turn?
Who's echoing through? It's really loud.
I think it's Loic.
Oh, okay. Let me see what I can do.
Alright, is that the end of your turn, Otti?
Do I get a saving throw against being frightened?
Yes. It's until the end of his next go. So he had his go. So you're no longer fighting.
Right. Okay. Okay, that's fine. I'm just going to turn down.
Okay. So at the end of your turn, he's going to use a legendary action. He will not make this an astro technique. So that is going to be 15 points of magical slashing damage and 7 points of radiance for 22 points of damage in total.
Someone survived an attack against him!
I'm just still going to stare him down while he hits me. As soon as he looks at me, I'm staring him straight in the eyes.
Commendable, but futile. He is leaping close to you. Our death will rise again. Sorry, I don't know if you caught that. Did you hear what I said?
Yes.
Rennas will rise again.
Yeah. Okay. Rennas, it's your turn. You are invisible.
Okie doke. Seeing as I'm invisible, I will take advantage and take a shot at him.
Okay.
With my broken advantage. Which
You get your free advantage.
probably
Free shot-
still won't hit him.
free
but,
shots ability.
yeah, still all miss.
So you fire, boom, and just at the last second, his head, Edgar sees it coming and just moves his head out of the way. Boom.
Okie doke. And then, because I don't want to be in the same place where I've just fired at him from, I want to run down to Korgrin. Oh, did it run out? Oh, that sucks. I thought it was just lasted a minute.
When you do take an attack action, that breaks invisibility.
Damn it, I did not realise that. Well, I'd have attacked him anyway, it doesn't really matter. And seeing them there, I will bonus action a greater healing into Korgrin.
Okay.
And then I will. Where was I? I was there. So I've got 35 left. I will run to that bush.
I imagine you're just kind of like Naruto gliding across the snow, like.
Yes. And that's my turn.
Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right then. Okay, so at the end of your turn, Rennas, he is going to make another legendary action. He's going to make another sword strike against Otti. This will not be Astra. All right, so that is 39 points of damage against you, Otti. Non-lethal.
She's down to 1 HP.
Oh yeah, with your relentless endurance, you come back. Yeah, okay.
I'm still staring at him though. I'm still like
And he's just,
staring him right in the eyes.
so like you're blooded all over, your body is so heavy, and you're staring him right back into the eyes, and he just lowers his sword a little bit and leads into you and just goes, "Just give up. You know you can't win. You know I have a design for you. Why resist the inevitable?"
Just gonna ignore him and stare at him.
Korgrin, it's your turn.
I stand up using half my movement speed,
Yep.
and I step behind him, and I would like to push him in the kidney and cast Inflict Wounds at a 3rd level.
Okay.
Nice.
What kind of save is it?
It's not. It's a spell attack from me, so depending on the roll, how high it is, I will...
It's not a ranged spell, is it?
No, it's melee spell attack.
Okay.
So, depending on the roll, I may consider using my plus 10, so we will see.
Alright then.
It will plus 10 now.
Let's bring it up to 29.
29.
That will hit it.
Yes! So,
Nice.
we want 3d10 and 3rd level 1d10 per damage, so roll 5d10.
Oof.
And specifically, I'd like to make that cut on his cheek grow, so that even if it heals, it scars.
Okay. So as he's leaning in, you basically just rush up, already beaten and bruising, but just even though the effects of the healing potion are still going through your body, you're just fighting against all the pain at the moment. Then you get up to him, you launch onto his face and cast a spell, and then the little cut just goes, and you get sprayed a bit of his blood. He just goes, ah! He looks at you. He did not like that at all. Okay, so that was 27 points of necrotic damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
This is where he takes half, isn't it?
No, he's immune to necrotic damage. So I'll redact that, and you do that, and the wound opens up a little bit, and where you expect the blood to spray out, he just looks at you and just goes, "Unholy creatures such as yourself have no effect on me."
That's right.
Ah. Okay. Okay.
Is that the end of your turn?
That is...
He's going to bring a sword strike down on you.
That's a hit.
So that's 30 points of damage against you.
I go back down. I punched a man in the kidney, and he swats me away. Oh,
Okay.
that boils my blood.
He's out of legendary actions now.
This turn.
Good.
Arrabella, it's your turn.
Can I check I can do something before I try and do it?
Yeah, sure.
So I want to run up, jump on him. I don't want to grapple him or anything, but I want to try and slice him.
You want to try and attack him, melee attack him by jumping onto his face, essentially.
Or his back. Yeah.
Yeah,
'cause I'm little.
I'll allow it. I mean, you won't. It's just be a thematic thing. So yeah, go ahead.
Cool. So I'm going to go up there.
She does
I'm
look
going to jump at him. I am invisible.
And yes, make the
And-
attack at advantage.
At advantage, and I get a +2 for my dueling.
Yep.
Oh, which doesn't get me anywhere.
So you jump onto his back. You do get onto there, and you bring the sword down, but he instinctively reacts and just spins around so quickly that it throws you off of him.
And then I'm fuming. How would you say I'm still within 5 feet of him? Like,
Oh yeah, you're still within 5 feet of him. He just threw you off of him into the same area, but you're no longer invisible.
okay. And am I allowed to use my staff as my second attack?
Yeah, sure, I'll allow it.
What is a staff? Because I haven't put it in my thing, and Roll20 doesn't let me.
1d6 one-handed, 1d8 two-handed.
But you can only use this one hand. You can only use this one-handed because your second hand is being used for your dagger at the moment. So.
Okay, and what is it? Plus anything? Is it my strength or my dex?
It'll be plus your strength and proficiency.
Yeah.
Okay, so plus... What's my proficiency now? 3. So plus 3 plus 1, so plus 4. Oh my god, stop it. I have to roll an attack roll first anyway, don't I?
Yeah.
Which is just 1d20 plus my proficiency?
Strength plus proficiency.
Yeah.
It's not going to hit anyway, even if unless I got a nat 20.
You bring the weapon down, and it just bounces off of his arm. He's laughing. Okay. Is that the end of your turn, Arri?
Yeah. Can I send you a message for what I guess what his hobby is?
If you want to make a guess, go ahead.
So I think it's genealogy.
Genealogy?
Yeah, so looking into people's history, and I feel like he's looking for his own family, and as a result he found ours.
If you are right, I will message it to you.
Okay.
Verity, it's your turn.
Okay, so bonus action, I'm going to change one level 1 spell into sorcery points, and then at level 3, I'm going to cast catapult to.
Okay.
Let me get my sorcery points back, and then
Yeah,
catapult is an extra 2d8.
So he needs to make a dexterity saving throw. Is that right?
Yep.
Bear with me just a minute. I've just run out of power on my mouse. I just need to
Sorry,
go grab.
2d8, so that's 20 altogether.
I've just run out of power on my mouse. I need to go grab a cable. Bear with me just a moment, please.
It's okay.
Okay.
We'll just sit here and cry at our inevitable doom.
I told you guys I don't want to fight.
I am going to disappear
What's
for
gonna
2
happen?
minutes. He's going looking.
I kind of figured.
We had to do it.
Like you said, I was kind of like it's going to be the end of the chapter, so.
What are we supposed to do? Run away from the last boss?
Yeah.
We will not fight you today, Sephiroth.
I mean, I'm well off. If you don't see me make my way down here, I'm going.
Yeah, I thought it could have been cool seeing them fight against each other, like the city and against them, but I mean, we'll take it.
I genuinely, I don't think that's how it would have happened with the characters like the king and Edgar. I think it would be Edgar taking over the city on behalf of the king.
Ask a question.
Okay, so as you cast catapult at him.
Sorry. If I was to cast it from Toby, would I still be invisible, or would my invisibility still break?
No, you're still using your action, so that would break your
Fair
invisibility.
Yeah.
Okay, so you cast it on him, and he's going to use his reaction.
No!
Here we go.
So he's going to redirect catapult to Loic.
Fuck!
Oh,
Oh no!
yikes.
Wait, can I use my reaction to counterspell that?
It's not a spell, it's a technique. This guy's purely physical.
What happened? I feel like I missed something
He
critical.
redirected the catapult to Loic,
Can you make a dexterity saving throw?
as you do.
Sure. Okay, don't tell me immediately if it passes or fails, because I have an ability that allows me to add a D10 if I want.
Okay.
I'm not going to add the D. Nope.
Alright, so you only take half damage and you're not knocked prone, so you take 8 points of bludgeoning damage. As all these ball bearings
No,
come.
I'm sorry to be this person, but I did it at level 3. So it was the 2d8 extra. So altogether it would have been 26. So that would have been 13 damage.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was looking at the one above this. So it was 17 points of damage.
No,
but you half.
no, it was the first 2d8 from that.
Yeah. Oh, and then the additional 3d8. Yeah, I get you. So 16 plus 17. Ooh,
31, so 16.
It was only meant to be 2d8, but I accidentally hit 3.
Okay, so it'll be the 8 and the 2 then. So 16 plus 8, so that's 24 plus 2, that's 26. You half that
13.
to
13 damage.
13
Sorry,
damage.
sorry.
Can I just say that 16 isn't 2d8 if it's supposed to be?
Bloody
That's some
hell.
weird
It's
ass maths.
3d8 originally, and every level higher, I add a d8. So it's a level 1
But that's
spell.
not what it's rolling. It's one
Yeah, roll a
d20.
d20.
It's a
Why
weird
do
ass.
that?
There we go.
Command
So
on
you click the catapult underneath it, and then that'll roll the damage for you. So we'll sit with the 17 damage, and then click the catapult. We won't go to the 17 bludgeoning damage I just made.
I don't even know anymore.
I was just hoping it might be slightly lower.
Yeah.
I mean, well, it has to be lower. It can't be, it's a 16 is the max damage for 2d8, so.
Do we need another roll?
The original damage is meant to be 3d8.
Oh, right, okay.
So the original damage is 3d8, and then I was meant to click 2d8, I accidentally clicked 3 for the extra damage.
Yeah. Well, either way, Loic only takes half damage, so.
I'm tracking 12, like 13 points. I move at all? Because I'm thrown into the air?
No, you resisted the effect, so you were safe. So you stay where you are, you just get pelted by all of these ball bearings that were flung from Verity. But Edgar just moved forward to implement you.
My bad.
It's a little counterproductive.
My bad.
Alright.
Sorry.
So that's Verity's
Okay.
turn.
That would have been cool, but instead Edgar's a dick and his mother never loved him.
At the top of the third round, Axiom just goes, "Hey, stop it! You've made your point. You're too much for them." Edgar just goes, "No." Can you all make perception checks for me, please?
Why? I'm unconscious.
Except for Korgrin. 'Cause
Use
you
it.
are unconscious.
I don't see anything. I'm super pissed off.
I see
like
the sky
gravels in
above
my
me
eyes.
looking all pretty and frosted.
Babe,
Bella notices shit.
I got Eli's.
So, Bella, you're looking around. You're desperate, and you notice something, or you hear something first, and you turn towards the sound of it. Very, very far away, near the mountain, you hear the sound of what might be a horse neighing. You look over there, and you just about see someone standing on the edge of the cliff, aiming a bow towards the area.
Oh, what was the name of the centaur from the life tree? Okay, I still have it written down.
That was a centaur. This is not a centaur. He looks humanoid.
This is just human.
Axiom calls out, "That's it! I've had enough of it now! Stop!" And Bellatrix, you see an arrow loosen as Edgar raises his sword again to deal another blow to everyone. The arrow stings across the sky, and it strikes Axiom in the head. He hits the ground. And a combat is immediately halted.
I crawled to
Only
Korgrin and gave him a
Korgrin.
potion of common healing.
Everybody's standing there briefly. And everyone's just looking around, really, as the arrow is in his head. It's directly in his forehead there. And Bellatrix, you've lost sight on the man in the hood that was by the cliffs, but you can still hear the neighing of the horse.
I have a question. What is Edgar's reaction to this?
Edgar has no reaction, but he's just waiting to see what's happening here.
Doesn't this break the rules of the duel?
Yeah,
So
you
what
have
should
no.
I-
If this was you, you have no morals, sir. You are not a knight.
To which Edgar starts backing away from everyone. His sword raised, his shield raised. He starts backing away to his troops. He sees you, Rennas.
Is he not scared of me for some reason, seeing as he can wipe us all out with fucking by breathing?
Right? As he gets back there, he calls out to his forces and says, "The criminals have killed the commander of the Frostkeep. They fired an arrow at him and he is now dead. Arrest them!"
You guys were just watching. I mean, I'm close enough I can hear this. You guys were just watching this. You know your commander's full of shit.
Make a persuasion roll, Rennas.
Bad.
His troops are not listening to you.
Of course.
I get a fucking +9. My dice rolls have been wank all day.
The troops on Axiom's side, however, are listening to Edgar, who
This man-
seems strangely more charismatic than.
You gotta be
he's
kidding me. Do any of us even have bows? Like,
Rennas
Arrows.
does.
I mean, I have a bow.
And you can hear them whispering. Says, "Where did the shot come from? I don't know. It came from nowhere."
Can I
What?
quickly take a look at the arrow in his head? Like, what kind of
Yeah.
arrow is it? Does it look similar to the knight's arrows? Like any of the arrows we have?
It looks just like a regular old arrow.
Like nothing to differentiate to the arrows they would have given us to use in combat.
I'm a kind of.
No, it's just arrows. Oh, I hope I didn't snap it. Arrows don't really, unless built in a very specific way, they don't really have any defining features. As such, when mass-produced for armies such as this, there's never really any distinctive qualities about them. They're just arrows. Bellatrix, I want you to go ahead and make an intelligence check, please.
Intelligence.
Yeah.
I'm not very smart.
Yeah.
I'm really not very smart.
You have no idea what happened, really. But yeah, Axiom is dead on the ground, the arrow clearly in his forehead.
I end up kind of from the pillar.
I want to point out to his troops that the arrow is in his forehead from his front. We were all behind.
Yeah.
Well, no, I suppose we were all in front of him, actually. I'll just shut up.
you were in front of them. Yeah.
Was I able to give Korgrin a common a potion? Because once I do, I want to go to.
Yeah, you can do this. There's
Then-
a general thought of murmuring.
I will go up to Axiom. I will hold his hand. I will close his eyes, and I will say very little because I don't know much about dwarves. But I will say, I apologize that you were not able to go in battle. And as I'm closing his eyes,
As you're saying this, one of the soldiers steps forward and says, "Step away from the commander's body." Did you do this?
I would
Why
never.
did you do this? Axiom believed us, one of the few people who do, because this man is horrible and evil.
Edgar steps
He is the
forward
one
again
who's
and
looking
says,
to trick you.
"Men of the
Don't fall for it.
FrostGates, you have seen your supposed allies strike down your commander in frustration and ineptitude. I hereby claim this area for myself. Lay down your
Against the
spear."
rules that Axiom stood for. You cannot let him get away with this.
Can I kind of speak up from the pillar at this point? Look,
Yeah.
None of you saw us actually fire at him. We were all pointed away from him, and he was advocating on our behalf. If you want to chain us up, do so because you want to, but don't believe the ravings of this lunatic.
So
Come on, I know you're guards, but you have to have common intelligence. Come on.
I want Verity or Loic to roll persuasion at advantage as one of you is assisting the other.
me
Edgar is going to
Verity.
roll a
I'm
deception
plus.
check.
Let me try. I have a ability as a warlock. If it's bad, I can add a D10 to it.
Okay, so go ahead and roll.
Right, let me see. I'm gonna see what it is before I roll.
Can I spend
Very-
2 sorcery points to give him a D4 plus to that as well?
Yeah, go ahead.
Ties of chaos thing.
Here come the 2 rolls because of advantage. Oh, I mean, I'll take the D4 as well.
Yes, add the D4 to it.
Yeah, that just means I'm gonna get a wild magic surge at random.
Then I want to use
or until you have until you rest.
Until I have a long rest.
Then I want to use my my warlock ability, Dark One's Own Luck, to add an additional D10.
Okay.
So 28 in total?
25.
Well, it'd be 5 plus 23, so 20.
25. So 29.
28.
Yeah, 28.
Yeah.
Okay. Edgar rolled a 19.
Oh, he's probably got something like plus.
But he gets a plus 15 to it.
No, as in he rolled 19 total. He actually rolled a 5.
Oh shit!
Fuck no.
So as you're saying this, like speaking from the heart, the troops look at you, and they look at Edgar, and Edgar says, "Consider your next actions very carefully."
Which do I heal from my common healing potion?
Since you're one of the soldiers comes up to you, Loic, and you recognise him as Sergeant Rannick. He looks at you and he says, "There are some caves east of here. We've collapsed them, but there should be another way through. Get out of there. Get out of here. We'll cover you."
I'm gonna take that and then I'm gonna mage message it in the next few seconds to the party.
Okay.
Can I shout to the woman up there? She bears a striking resemblance to Raphael Valenstar. Does this name mean anything to you?
The woman turns to you and he says, "What do you know of my brother?"
I fought alongside your brother. Your brother is a noble man. Your brother has faith in us. Your brother would not follow this monster.
Then my brother is a fool.
And you are a traitorous bitch.
My lord, may I kill this man? Edgar considers it for a moment. You ain't running away yet. This is all in an instant.
I'm just gonna just start just walking in that direction.
Just thinking. I'm just thinking. What would Edgar do in this situation?
Yes.
Edgar turns to the lady and says, "Jace, I very much need his blood, so kill him discreetly. Leave as much of it as possible." And she says, "Thank you." And in an instant, she throws several daggers at you.
Yay.
Free weapons.
Can I get you to make a Constitution saving throw, please?
Why is it always con saves?
As the daggers hit you.
Oh. Fuck.
As I die, I just point out that her brother got the balls in the family.
That is
fairly obvious.
Works. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
D6. I can't. I have to manually type this one out.
Oh, we should have just run. Woo.
And
Rennas tried his luck first, and don't know why he tried his luck after the luck he's had today.
she doesn't get sneak attack on you, so that's that.
That's something.
So she only does
64 points of damage. Oh shit!
It's not quite enough to kill me outright. I mean, I'm definitely down, but it's not double my hit points, which is pretty much what I was expecting.
The blades sink into you, and poison bursts into your veins. Fall down to the ground. Poison overcoming your body. As she slowly walks over to you. Her blades withdrawn. Are the rest of you going to do anything?
Somebody want to get Rennas out of there whilst I fireball their ass?
Where am I?
Um,
I am invisible. I'm gonna start moving towards him.
Yeah, I'm going to start moving as well.
bonus action healing word. Because he's poisoned, it does nothing.
Yeah.
But he's unconscious, and
This is a different kind of poison, one that stays in effect.
Fuck it.
Um,
This has been there for me the entire time.
So
I can't run on him now.
Korgrin shouts a healing word, and the magic coalesces across the air, and once it hits Rennas, there's seemingly no effect.
Fuck, 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 fuck.
Bellatrix, you're there first. What will you do?
I'm just gonna stand in the way.
That doesn't seem smart.
Hey.
I don't want you to die.
Okay. You stand in the way, arms out, Goliath
I'm
ready.
still invisible.
Oh yeah, yeah. So she walks into you then. That will break your invisibility, unfortunately, because she's interacted with you.
That's fine. I'm gonna give her a little kiss on the nose and then I'm gonna stab her with my glaive.
Okay. So that's what you do. Otti, what
I don't think we want proper combat here. I think we want to grab me and run away.
I'm gonna
I'm
grab
hoping that,
Rennas,
yeah.
throw him over my shoulder, and leg it.
Okay.
You know, I'd like to push instead of stab.
Right. So, Loic has messaged to all of you to make a retreat eastward. And this person, who Edgar referred to as Jace, she's not paying any attention to you, Bellatrix. She's keeping her eyes on Rennas. So, Bellatrix, go ahead and make your attack roll.
I want to do just a push, so that just be strength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A post strength. She's not amazing at strength, actually. She's just a straight up.
I'm not raging anymore, so I don't get it done.
Well, 12. It's 12 from her.
Okay. That would be +1 as well.
So you actually push her away.
Okay, and then I'm going to start retreating as well.
Okay.
Didn't those giant ice caps say they were going to cover our escape? This would be a good time for that.
Well, you're unconscious, Rennas, so you can't see. But the rest.
I didn't say anything. I was just thinking out loud.
Korgrin and Arrabella, as you're paying attention, you can see that the troops appear to be mustering up courage. It looks like they're preparing to charge on Edgar's forces.
I've been converting spells and points whilst this has been happening.
Okay.
I'm gonna start getting ready a fireball to once everyone gets past me, because we're all going east, right?
Yes.
Once everyone gets past me, I'm going to get ready to fire it right at them to kind of hopefully slow them down a bit.
Mount on the ice.
Gonna say, guys, get a move on.
So, Otti, as you're chasing Rennas, this person is following, and then her body seems to turn to mist.
Oh.
Fireball there, fireball, right here, fireball.
Edgar will then
gonna deflect it at us.
Since he's being subjected to an effect that makes him do a saving throw.
He's going to deflect it to us. We're going to die.
No.
He is going to deflect it over here.
Oh, okay. I thought it had to be out of target.
He doesn't want to.
I was casting while she was still mist over there. Isn't she caught in it?
No, because he's deflected it over here.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Just die!
As you, Otti, this person appears in front of you. She says, "I'm afraid that's not going to work." She's going
Can
to
I
make
fire
another
Fiend Boa?
Yeah, go ahead. She's going to make an attack roll against Rennas. And Rennas, can you make a death saving throw at this point, please?
Yay!
That's not going to hit her, unfortunately, Arri.
Imagine my surprise. I literally haven't. That's my best roll all day. It's a 7.
Isn't that instant death? Are you just instantly going to die?
I'm sure this is attacks against me, so I'm instantly going to die.
Yeah.
So Otti, before you can even react, she's raised her blade and she moves forward. You try to dodge out of the way, but she sinks the blade into Rennas' chest and pulls the chest out.
Who the fuck's messaging me? Okay, yeah, okay. I hear you.
Who can fireball me or do something to my unconscious body so that I burn so he doesn't get any blood?
Oh, that's a...
Okay, so as she withdraws her blade, a trail of blood mixed with venom spurts out, and you feel Rennas' body go limp in your arms, Otti. And she smiles. And at that point, all of the soldiers begin charging. To which she's like, damn it! She misty steps again and appears behind Edgar as the knights begin charging forward, led by Sir Gareth. They clash in the middle, and it's a mass melee as the troops at the very rear, like where they were basically set up, and like the main body of troops, they start charging forward as the men on the wall begin knocking their bows and beginning to attack. The sounds of battle start initiating, and you can hear Edgar screaming, "Don't lose sight of them! Don't lose sight of them!" However, you guys are able to escape.
Just like this, you loveless coward.
You're able to get so he was there. They've moved up. You guys are able to run across the walls just as the main body of the army clashes at the wall. You continue to run. Otti, you're keeping an eye on Rennas, but it's not looking good. Not looking good at all.
If I'm able
It's just
to.
on the way towards the cave. You look. Can you all make perception checks for me, please? All right. So everybody but Korgrin and Verity, you hear a roar. You look behind you and you can see something flying in the air coming towards you. You've seen it before. This is a manticore coming at you.
Oh.
Fuck.
It swoops into attack when a radiance emanates from somewhere near the cliffside. Shoots forward.
Distracted with my lifeless body.
Hits the manticore in midair and immediately falls down to the ground. Pulsates a little bit and explodes into a million bits in a divine blast. You look forward ahead of you and you hear the same horse sound again. And just through the heavy snowfall, the mist, you can almost see something moving towards you. 4 legs, white all over, with a yellow mane and a horn on its head. You see a unicorn galloping towards you.
Steve!
This looks different. This doesn't look like Steve.
Like, to be fair, I've only ever seen one unicorn in my life, so.
So Steve.
But they're all called Steve.
So Steve had a silver name. This one has got a fiery yellow, golden kind of name. But as you're looking at it, it seems to a gust of wind happens, a heavy snowfall comes by, and the image seems to have disappeared. And at this point, you keep on running and running and running, until eventually you can. Loic, you're leading the way. You know the way from here. Eventually, you get to. You can see the cave entrance, and as you're moving inwards, the snowfall is still present, but it's not as windy here. As you stop, and Otti, you put Rennas down on the ground. He is breathing, but life is leaving him.
I kneel next to his body and try and cast Lesser Restoration.
You cast Lesser Restoration, and you get the sense that the poison in his body dissipates a little. But the wounds are too great. It's already gotten into his organs. They're already... You know innately from your magical and medical abilities that his organs are already shutting down.
I want to grab the blue diamond that I know that he's been carrying around with him.
Yeah.
And I want to press it against him and just scream, heal him. Get it out of his body. Make him live.
You do it. And there's seemingly no effect.
And I scream.
Arrabella just screams. Rennas, it's hard to breathe. You've got a burning sensation all over your body, but you're on the ground and you can't really move that much, and you're looking up to your compatriots. What do you want to say?
Steal everything for me.
I give him a light poke.
Ah! I'm glad I got to experience having a family before I died.
Can I, in my rage, kind of smash the gem on the ground? Because it was completely useless. No? Okay, I won't. Is there any way for me to, like, us to...
Go ahead and make a religion check, Loic.
And right up. And religion's a great ability for me. No. Okay.
There's seemingly no answer from the Watcher.
Go ahead, go figure.
And as you all gather around Rennas...
How do I whisper again?
You do.
You don't have to whisper to me, guys. Just say it.
I was gonna try and reach out to the unicorn, see if they could help.
Okay. Go ahead and make a charisma check. You shout out into the echoing space, and it just goes, "Help! Help! 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 Help!" But nothing seems to appear. Nothing seems to happen.
So I'm going to go a bit mad now, and nothing seems to be working, so I'm going to get the white dragon's blood and I'm going to pour it on the wounds. I'm going to get my little pentagram with the rat etching. I'm expecting none of this to help at all. I'm going to put it on him and I'm going to pray to whatever god I think that belongs to. And yeah, I'm just going to try everything I possibly can. Like, for a pentagram, it's not going to be Argoneth. He's an octopus, okay?
Argoneth is not an octopus.
Fine, he's a squid. But, like,
no,
essentially...
That was the great old one.
Ah, fine, whatevs. He's not a pentagram.
As you do that, there is seemingly no effect, and Rennas, your body goes numb, your eyes darken, and the breath escapes you. As the rest of your compatriots, their tears begin to well up in their eyes, as you see the life slip away from Rennas.
And I'm just screaming, no! No, you don't get to leave! You don't get to leave us now!
You hear some crunching of snow. You look over towards a nearby tree, and it appears there's something there. White skin, golden mane, 4 legs. That unicorn appears from behind the tree and starts staring at you all with a curious look. Sorry, Arri, you cut out for me.
I can hear Jack.
Yeah, I can hear
It looks
Jack.
like
It
she
was
got
how he
cut
cut
out.
out, yeah.
I just heard the word fourlay.
Sorry, could you repeat that? I didn't. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. I think Harry's dropping out.
I think it's just
catch
Harry.
what Harry said. Could you? Oh, is Harry actually cut out for everyone then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't hear her. Screen's gone black, so probably just her.
The connection. What a timing. Okay, so I'll just say at this point, Arrabella is just crying too much. What will the rest of you say?
Well, it's just gonna be like, can you help our friend, please?
Make a persuasion roll.
Please. Where is that? That is not good. That is very bad. This giant woman is crying though. Can I have advantage?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a bit better.
As you say these words to it doesn't seem to understand the words you're saying, but it does seem to understand the feeling behind it.
Can I talk to it in Celestial? Do you think I'll understand Celestial?
Yeah. You can speak. What do you want to say in Celestial?
Whatever you want. You can have it, just back.
Worst song to get in my head then, just so you know.
Just looks at you, Verity, and the first time now you hear words emanate from its body that only Verity understands. The rest of you, it just sounds almost like a song. But Verity, you hear, "What's wrong, humans? Why is that one getting up?"
We can't get him up.
Is he hurt?
Pretty bad.
Okay. May I help?
Please.
He begins to trot forward. And the rest of you don't understand what's happening between what Verity and this unicorn have said, as it's literally just been a song between them. But the unicorn is edging slowly closer to Rennas. What will the rest of you do?
I kind of back up. I look between Verity and the unicorn. I can see that she's not scared, so I kind of just, I've got the tears in my eyes still. But I'm watching, I'm hoping, I'm praying.
I like to kneel down by Rennas and just sort of open my arms and kind of channel divine magic for me if I can to try and invite the unicorn in.
Okay. Right. Loic?
At this point, I'm kind of questioning the Watchers, so I'm kind of just in a trance right now, not really believing what I've seen.
Otti?
I'm kind of like looking at Bella, and kind of like just like not
Don't
really
look at
crying.
ugly crying.
Oh yeah, Bella's ugly crying. I'm concentrating on Bella, but I know he's back there, and I know that the moment he jumps back up, I'm gonna like actually go over and like kiss him, and be like, "Thank you," but come
I
on,
keep assuming I'm going to jump back up.
Shut up!
I'm not assuming I'm going to jump back up.
The unicorn lowers its head.
Yes, that was her shaking me awake. Very, very lovingly, obviously.
Loic lowers its head, and the tip of its horn touches Rennas. And there's a small glow that emanates from the tip of it. It's almost like a small hymn. And you can see the greenness in his veins begin to disappear. Almost as if they're withdrawing, and they now get almost like they're being sucked into the horn itself and then dissipated into a greenness. You can see the wounds that he sustained, the puncture wounds disappear, the blood etches back into his body. And another pulse emanates from the end of his horn, and Rennas' body rises into the air.
I mean, you still have to get like 3 minutes on that fly spell, so.
I've been doing that all day.
His body reaches the floor, and the unicorn raises his head, and he says to you, Verity, "I've done all I can. It's up to him if he wants to come back now."
I think he wants to come back. I mean, there's still so much gold in the world he hasn't taken, and
Rennas,
poor health.
you have not entered the true.
Like
Rennas, you have not entered the true state of death yet. If you so wish, without any rolls, would you like your soul to return to your body?
Yes, I would.
Get prepared for an ass kick in the second you come back.
A moment passes. Two moments passes.
Kick in the balls.
A few more moments passes. And it seems like it's not happening. And then he breathes. His eyes slowly open. And you can see the life has returned to Rennas.
I just run up to him, kind of hugging him as hard as a half-elf can, and just scream at him that I hate him. As I'm holding him and crying.
The same. I want to skid through the snow, down on my knees, just into a big hug. And whilst I'm hugging him, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds.
Yay!
Which is on my character sheet.
Just like, I hate you. Why did you die? You absolute fucking asshole. I fucking hate you. Just as I'm like holding on to him for dear life, bursting into tears.
Yeah, Rennas has just had this whole kind of coasting through life thing going on. Even
and now you get back in a
he's
half
always just
come
back, and he's always survived. Now he's definitely thinking about his actions a little bit more from now on. Maybe not gobbing off at ultimately powerful people when he's miles away from everyone else.
It's only taking you 20 bloody years. All I'm going to do is arrest you like every week for doing stupid things. Have you now learned your lesson because you died?
If instead of arresting me, you'd killed me, I might have learnt my lesson earlier.
I mean, we should have killed him earlier.
We should have.
Still considering it.
Thank you. I heard all your words in my semi-dead state.
You can't
Thank
play
you.
yet.
Just
Your
some
hair's
snow
a
down the
mess.
back of his top.
And he just
Yes,
put it out.
Bella still needs to cut my hair.
Fine.
The horse, the unicorn looks at all of you and he says, "Oh, in Celestial, so Verity will have to translate. You all look very tired."
Yes.
It's been a long day.
Unicorn says we look knackered as fuck.
It is not correct. No, not incorrect. The opposite.
I can protect you if you'd like to have a rest. I can shield you all from unwanted eyes.
We should figure out who this unicorn is. I mean, at this point, though, who couldn't argue with the rest?
What's your name?
Unity.
Thank you, Unity. I'm assuming Verity just told me what her name was.
The horse doesn't say any words in common, but it just edges its head beside you, Rennas, and sort of just does that. And you are now effectively hugging your unicorn.
Rennas is that grateful, he's not even wondering how much the horn is worth this time. That's how grateful he is.
Looks really shiny, though.
Like, I am warning Unity, just like subtly in the Celestial, being like, careful, he's alive, but
He's a good man. I can see it.
questionable.
Deep, 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 deep down.
You have been touched by another of my kind, have you not?
Yeah, Steve. You might know him. I don't know. Do you unicorns hang out together?
We know of each other. Steve, you say? I haven't seen him in a long time.
He was very much impromptu. Like, it felt like the name was like pulled up on the spot kind of scenario, but you know, definitely Steve the Unicorn.
Evil trickster.
Evil trickster.
He enjoys hiding and only coming out when he feels it's right.
That was my
But
fault. I summoned him by
But I can call him here if you'd like to see him again.
Yes!
Y'all want to see
Two
Steve?
unicorn horns.
Yes! He likes my hair. Oh, I've changed my hair. I wonder if he likes it now.
To which the Unity, the unicorn, goes over to him. He waves his, he sort of stamps his feet a little bit, waves his horn, and there's a small yellow-white circle that appears. And he waits for about a minute. Until eventually you see another equine-like creature come through this this hole, this divine portal. This one with another white horn, white hair, and silver mane. A unicorn that you all very much recognise, except for Korgrin and Loic.
I recognise him.
Yeah, Korgrin was there.
Give my hand.
The unicorn that identified itself as Steve comes through, and he's looking at Unity, and only Verity understands what they're saying here. But he says, "Why have you called me here, Unity? Because you have friends here." Steve cocks his head a little bit and then looks at the rest of you, and then he says in common, "Ah, it's you. It's all of you."
Hey, Steve. As I'm wiping away the rest of my tears.
Not quite all of us.
Oh yeah, Wicca.
Oh.
Shit, yeah, Wick was actually in that fight, wasn't he? He was going around getting the people on the edges.
He wanders over to you and he stops by Yulo and he says, "You're new. I haven't met you before."
Who are you? How do you know we're here? Like what?
Oh, I didn't. I was called here by Unity.
Let's say,
But
Unity, how did you? Why are you
But he
here?
says to you, Loic,
My name is Bob.
I feel like Loic is just in such a daze from the events of the day that he's just kind of like, oh, okay, hi, Bob. Thanks.
He just he wanders over to the rest of you. Start sort of pulsing around. He comes to you first, Arrabella. And he says, "You've gotten stronger."
And I kind of touch his face, and I'm like, I'm glad to hear that. I don't feel it, but thank
As you
you.
touch him, you feel all the fatigue leave you. You regain 11 hit points as you touch him.
Woo. Quickly, people low on HP, hug the horse.
Quick. I was going to hug him before that, but...
I'm back to hit max HP now, so cheers.
He turns to you, Bellatrix, and he says, "You have even better hair now. I love your mane."
Thanks, Steve.
And he goes in and sort of just nudges his head towards you, like a hug sort of thing.
It's a big hug.
He goes to you, Otti, and he says, "Are you just as protective as always?"
So these guys, I'll always protect these guys.
"I'm glad. I hope they protect you too."
No, they keep me sane.
No, I just die a lot.
Mostly.
He nudges you, and oh shit, that's the wrong one. 6. So you get 9 hit points this game.
Did I get any HP?
You hugged him, so you regained 7 hit points.
Yay, thanks, Steve.
Can I just
I
touch
just
his
wanted the
vein?
hug, I didn't care.
Yep, you touch him, Korgrin, and you get 8 hit points.
Didn't even say anything.
He comes over to you, Korgrin, and he says, "I see the light shines from you."
Feel
What
it's a bit
troubles you?
murder these days.
What troubles you, my friend?
Shaking of the faith.
Yeah, I can.
Always have faith in yourself. That's what I believe. And he nudges down and just sort of scratches his head against you. You regain 9 hit points. Then he moves over to you, Rennas, and he says, "Wow, you look like shit."
Feel like shit too. It's good to see you though, Steve.
And it's good to see you too, Rennas. He heals you for 7 hit points.
Woo. Now I have 7 hit points.
Plus the
Had,
5.
you had cure wounds earlier from Bella.
Oh yeah, sorry, okay.
He moves back and stands beside Unity and says to Unity in Celestial, so Verity has to translate again. "Unity, weren't you with someone? Weren't you someone's mount?" And Unity replies, "Yes, he'll be back very soon. I think he's just making sure that we weren't followed."
Why were you here?
Pardon?
I'm asking Unity, like, why were you here? What?
"Oh, well, I wasn't here by choice. We were brought here by my friend. And he said to help you if I could, and I did. But
Who's your friend?
Oh, I think that's him coming now." And you turn around, and you see in the mist a humanoid man walking towards you. Dressed in black, a long, blackish trench coat. Looks like he's got leather armor on as well. Little bits of metal shoulder pads. Looks like he has a bow with lots of quivers on his head. And the most defining thing is that he has a hood up and a scarf up to here, and all you can see is blue eyes, just about, as he starts walking towards you.
I am resisting the urge to grab my bow. It's only because his mount healed me. Healed Rennas, rather, that I'm not doing so.
Why do you trust this man?
Walks towards you.
Bella, is this the guy you saw?
Ask him if
I
he knows
think
he's shot.
so, but I only saw, hooded figure, so...
He gets within 10 feet of you and he stops. And he stares at all of you. "Well, you all look like you're alive."
It's a keen observation.
I trust my distraction helped. You were able to get away.
It didn't help Frostbeard.
Frostbeard was a monster who was going to use those forces of Edgar to untold ends. The amount of suffering he's brought on the people of the capital was untold, and if given any more power, he would have brought great pain and suffering to people. I brought justice upon him.
How did you know he was with Edgar, though? I mean,
I did not know he was with Edgar. All I knew is the crimes he had done and punished for them.
well, I can't argue with
One
that.
person the right to exact justice.
I
It's
can't
all these
argue
people
with...
who feel like they're
I
entitled
mean, that's kind
to
of what
this
we do.
as all this is happening.
Yeah, I'm
Justice
completely
is
down
only
with it.
prevalent to those who make it for themselves.
The timing was not great, but I am completely down with it and understand.
Who are you?
He looks at you and says, "My name is Talion."
Do I recognize the name?
Wait, isn't
I
that
fucking
from Bella's-
recognize it, yeah.
You know Melody?
Yeah, Bella's kind of like frozen, but she's like,
Oh, he's in the books.
yeah.
You know her mum, Melody?
Melody? Yes, I know her. How do you know her?
Is she alive? Is she okay? Where is she? What's going on? She's
Bellatrix knows her.
my
Pretty
mum.
well.
Bellatrix?
Okay, I might as well.
Trixie?
You're not allowed to say that name. I don't know you.
Your mother spoke of you often.
Where is she now?
I don't know. I haven't seen her for a long time. The last time I saw her, she spoke of you and she hoped you were safe. I guess that's why I'm here. To make sure you stay safe.
Thank you.
How long have you been watching us?
2 hours.
What was the crystal?
What crystal?
The crystal you had in Greenfold.
I don't remember.
Do you... I'm assuming you're a relatively celestial being. Have you ever heard the name?
I am not. I am human.
All right. Well, all right. Disregard.
Could you give me some lessons with the bow? That was quite a long shot you made. I can't hit it.
It was a very lucky shot.
I think you're a very modest man.
What's
I
the
think
name
I
of your
know-
parents?
Parents, if it's all right with you, I'd rather not say their names.
It's not overly alright with me, but I respect your decision for now.
I apologize. It's please respect me when I say that this is just a painful memory, one that I do not wish to remember.
Well, we were just about to make camp for the night. Do you want to come join us, have a drink? Maybe relax and not look quite so intimidatingly scary?
I apologize if my setup frightens you, but I do not wish to reveal my identity to you. I do not wish to reveal my identity to anyone.
That's fine. We can cut a little hole in your mask and you have a drink through that.
Can I ask Unity, why do you help this man?
He needs to be on the right path, and I'm helping him with it.
Needs to be on the right path. Don't you not trust him to be good?
He is good. He just can't remember the good that he can do sometimes.
I know, but you said Rennas was good, and that's questionable enough, so sorry if I'm, a bit iffy on your judgment.
Well, he is my friend. He treats me well. He feeds me berries.
Can I say in Halfling to Verity, can you ask the unicorns if this man knows who he is?
I ask.
Before the answers, Talion responds in Halfling. I do remember some things, but there are many things I don't remember.
I can know in Halfling. Fair
You're
enough.
tired. I'm sure you have many more questions. And I will answer them in time, but know that
I don't know.
we're safe here for now.
People who like us either end up, usually dead or hating us by the end.
So I didn't actually hear that, Georgia.
I'm just saying, people who tend to like us either end up dead or hating us.
Well, I died once, and I'm still here. He just shrugs his shoulders.
I mean, I could say something like that, but it's kind of true for me now. So
High five.
Yours wasn't a true death. Your body shut down, but your soul hadn't truly left the material plane, so it was pretty easy for you to come back.
So is mine a true death then? Have I come back all knowledgeable of the afterlife?
Rest. Whilst that battle happens, I'm sure nobody will be able to come over here. If the way through the gates is still barred tomorrow, then we should go through the ice caves. There used to be an old smuggler's route that has since been collapsed by the guards, but there is another way through.
I doubt we're going to be able to get through the gates. Edgar's going to overpower them and he's going to have domain over those gates.
Mm-hmm. Gotta try something.
are we sure we even want to go into the capital now? I mean, if Edgar's going to be there and he's going to be in charge.
That's a good point, honestly.
Don't underestimate the ability of the FrostGates. They have thrown back attacks for many, many years.
I mean...
And Edgar would not want to waste his forces in such a mundane effort as simply as going to the capital.
He'll just follow us instead. Okay.
You're his targets. He'll go wherever you go.
I mean, if we're in the capital, we put a pretty big wall in between us and him if we know he's going to follow.
My armies have been trying to breach Jarrus for centuries, and none have succeeded so far. Look at the Frost Giants. They've never won.
I think after just fighting... Well, I've forgotten his name already. What's his name? Edgar. I forgot Edgar's name. Sorry, complete blank. I think after fighting Edgar, I'd rather fight a Frost Giant right now.
They're big and mean. I wouldn't recommend it.
Well,
I mean, if we're unlucky, we'll find one in that cave. And he nods towards the cave behind you all.
You're small.
If we're unlucky. However,
Loic.
Yep.
Is there anywhere in the capital that we could potentially hide from Edgar so he won't go?
Assuming he doesn't have spies and foresight, I've heard that the Elven district has been basically boarded off and they're sent to fend for themselves. There's no one really looking in there, and I mean, it has a second wall in between us and them. I also have support within that area, so it could potentially offer what I can.
Are they going to be accepting of everyone else, though?
I mean, as long as I can prove to them I'm kind of like their messiah, I should be relatively able to gain some support, but that's TBD.
Messiah?
I mean, this is something you haven't mentioned.
Slip of the tongue. Don't think too much into it.
Too late.
It's all good.
You were bringing a tribute here, were you not?
Yeah,
We were.
That's probably fucked now.
Well, if the FrostGates are currently engaged with the forces, I doubt anybody will be watching those carts. If those men had any sense about them, those drivers that you were with, they would have already gone on their way and make their way to the capital.
They'll have a bit of a head start, but these caves can be a bit of a shortcut if you know the way. I'm sure if we get through them, we can catch up to them, and then you can gift the tribute directly to the capital yourself.
I mean, it's worth a shot. I know these caves. I've been in here a little.
And thanks to Frostbeard, we'd be the first town in ages to deliver tribute of any sort.
But
Very
the moment
true.
it gets dicey, we just got to get in there.
Well, then it sounds to me like you'll be treated as heroes.
I don't know if we want that attention.
Heroes get favors from nobilities.
Yeah, but nobility is also corrupt.
Bitch, I favor.
Get some rest. Good long rest. We'll depart again in the morning, I think. That battle will be going on a while. I'll keep a watch out. I'll keep a perimeter going, and if I see anybody coming close, I'll give you the heads up, and we can either make us stand and fight, or we can retreat into the FrostGates, whichever you choose.
I whisper to Bella, make sure you activate Swing the Alarm.
Yeah.
Always.
He turns to leave and he stops. Then he turns to you, Bellatrix. He says, "Can I have a word?"
Sure.
So he leads you away from the group up here. As he gets there, he stops and he turns to you, and you and him are kind of almost the same height, really. He's pretty tall. He looks at you, and all you can really see is his eyes, and just like maybe the faint bits of skin there, but the scarf that or the mask that he's wearing is there, and his hood comes to here, essentially.
Okay.
Your mother was on a mission. Did you know that?
I didn't know until fairly recently. I still don't know a lot about it.
She was obsessed with exonerating the knights of old, the Forgotten Knights, or otherwise known as the Treacherous Knights.
That much.
She was convinced that if she could find enough information to show them of their capabilities of character, then they would be able to take that evidence to the capital itself and have their names redacted as traitors, and therefore the exiles, yourself, would be able to come back to their old family home. What do you think happened to that mission?
I don't think it went very well.
When I last saw Melody, you were probably no older than 10 or 11. I'm going to tell you something, and I want you to keep it to yourself, please.
Okay.
I woke up about a few days ago, and it was very near to here when I woke up, and I've gathered a lot of information that I could in the time that I could. Fortunately, I met Unity many years ago, and he's been gracious enough to keep me up to date on recent happenings. I don't know what happened to your mother. All I know is that her mission most likely failed, and her fate is unknown to me. But I know that she probably wants you to take up the cause and clear the names of the old knights. It was very important to her and to the rest of them, all of our friends. It was George, Cassandra, Hud, Nimbles. He seems to trail off in memory a little bit. I miss them very much. They're good people. I can tell you everything I know up to the point where I was no longer with them. if you wish to know, or if you wish to continue that journey of discovery by yourself.
I do have an oddball question, a real left fielder for you, if you don't mind.
You're not there, Loic. He's speaking with Bella privately.
Yeah.
No
Okay.
worries. My bad.
It might be useful. If I'm going to pick up the mantle, it might be worth knowing.
One by one, our friends died in our journey. Starting with Hud, then Cassandra. It's the event, each time it happened, it changed Melody. She became much more hardened over time. I want you to know that if she is alive, and if you find her, she may not be the same as you remember. One cannot go through all that loss and come out the same. Trust me on that.
Well, she won't be seeing the same Trixie that she's used to either.
I'll pretend I didn't hear that name.
Thank you.
To me, you are, and always have been, T. We thought it best not to use real names, just in case enemy forces that did not want to see the knights restored could use that against us. She never named you, but we all know who you were. No, she loved you dearly, and she loved her husband, Veric, dearly as well. Last I heard of her, she was going to the capital to present her findings to the king. It was King Dumas, who I'm told is, what I've learned, is now dead and replaced by his 9th son, King Terrell.
Okay.
I do not know what your mission is, but I wish to support you in it.
Well, if we know
At a distance. I apologize, it's just my way.
I appreciate it. We need some kind of guardian angel.
Don't think of me as a guardian angel, just think of me as an extra pair of eyes.
That'll do. I'll take it.
That's really all I am. I'm just a man who can shoot a bow.
It has a unicorn.
Like 400 feet away.
Well, he's my friend. I have many friends, or I had many friends. Loss changes a man. Remember that, Bellatrix. And he starts walking away.
He's one of those types.
And I walk away.
Half our party then.
I'm just gonna sit in the snow where we were stood.
Okay.
And just reflect.
Yeah, I'm kind of just gonna plop down next to Bella and just kind of like be like, "What in the hell?"
You gonna come sit next to me? Aw. I'm gonna give you a hug. I don't think I've hugged you yet.
Loic wanders over to Bellatrix, who is by herself, and sits down beside her. No words are shared. Bellatrix just wraps her gargantuan armor around the relatively small Loic, and whilst crushing, it's strangely comforting.
It's like a weighted blanket, like
yeah.
Kind of just
I'm a hand safety blanket.
And as you all guys set up camp, Steve and Unity stick around. They keep you all warm. They heal your wounds, and as you all can prepare to see what the next day will bring you. Will the FrostGates stand? Will they have fallen? Does your journey lie within the ice caves? Can you catch up with the tribute and get to the capital? And now that you've fought him, you realise that Edgar is not a man. Not anymore.
The god.
There's something else about him. And you can only think to yourself, if Argonef's apostle is this powerful,
heavens only knows what Argonef himself is capable of. And it just reinforces the fact that you need to work to make sure that he is never, ever allowed to come back. As you reflect on your journey and reflect on your future, Act 1 comes to a close, and you're all leveled up. And we'll call it an evening for there, guys.